take flight. Marc D with the C's got the key to life. Retro toys and comics we adore. TV and movies, let's explore. Sunday Night Geekery, it's the place to be. With Marc D with the C, let your nerd run free. Old school vibes and stories untold. Tune in, tune out, let the magic unfold.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sunday Night Geekery, issue number 204. So we're getting up there, and sorry for the late start. Went to NYC today. It was in Times Square. We went to Carmine's murder mystery dinner, and it was my son's birthday, so we made sure we told him that, so they sufficiently embarrassed him, and so we had a fun time. But the train, I got to Grand Central at 9 o'clock, and the first train back was 9:38. I was like, boo! Now I got to go to the restaurant and buy some donuts or something, which we did. So made it back, but that's where we're starting late tonight. And of course, very glad to have Tom Connors joining us. So hail to Tom.
Where's that shithead? He owes me money.
Yeah, right. Time to make the donuts. Yep.
Time to make the donuts.
Yep. So so got in and out of New York. I got to say, getting to Times Square is pretty easy on the on the railroad. You know.
Speaking of donuts, I will say I prefer people watch us in the long view because it makes me look skinnier.
Same here. Yep. We're much skinnier in the long view. Yeah, so if you're confused that some people on our Fortnite strike, maybe I shouldn't do Fortnite vertical because it's so damn small, but you get a lot of people watching on the vertical, so I don't want to deny. And I'm anti-vertical video, which is funny too, yeah, so if you're confused, if you're trying to find the horizontal screen, go to the channel and look for us. But as Tom and I said, we're kind of dimensionally challenged, so we do prefer the vertical. But let's say hi to everyone who's in the chat. So first was Tim.
We prefer Mambo.
Right. And we got David Jones here. Hail. Claude Salling. Daniel Barry, happy Sunday, everyone. Yeah, my fantasy football team didn't do so well tonight, Drag Nabbits, but of course that's
because they don't exist, Mark. I keep telling you this.
That's a fantasy.
It's just a fantasy. I mean, they could be whatever you want them to be, but for some reason you just keep making them losers. I don't understand.
Who do you think you are, Billy Joel? It's just a fantasy, which is one of my favorite Billy Joel. Which is one of my favorite Billy Joel songs. Yeah. Well, I'm under a lot of pressure tonight, but we'll see if we can get through this nylon curtain here.
Maybe. Have you ever been to Allentown?
I have been to Allentown, actually.
I know there's this great Italian restaurant there.
Yeah, there's some good scenes from that restaurant. Yeah.
It's got great scenery. Yes.
But you start with the bottle of red first or the bottle of white?
Uptown. There's a girl up there I used to know. I call her my Uptown girl. Yeah. I dated her for the longest time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But
she left me for easy money.
Did you have to cross the bridge to get to her?
I did, but I didn't start the fire. It was the homeless guy.
I'm trying to come up
in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night. Oh yeah, that's right. You never know what you're gonna get on Sunday Night Geekery. I'm a pretty big Billy Joel fan.
I am too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I grew up on that. When I was a little kid, I know I'm a little younger than you, but my first memories of music are Billy Joel, Innocent Man, and Michael Jackson, Thriller. Yeah. Those two albums were the first two things I remember. And then John Cougar Mellencamp, Jack and Diane was probably the next one in the line there. I don't know exactly which ones came out first, but there's just The Gambler by Kenny Rogers also I remember was very big besides 9 to 5 at that time too.
That was huge. Yeah. Well, this is my life. Yep. But Billy Joel, I mean, for a while, people were really ragging on him. It was. Yeah, I was like, what the hell is going on? It's like one of the great American.
I don't know what they would think. What was he, nerd rock or something? I guess you would call it.
Yeah, I'm like F you.
I don't know. He's like a straight Elton John.
Yeah, I mean, he's not heavy metal.
Elton John came from the Bronx.
his first group he was in was kind of a heavy metal group. He had that long hair. I'm trying to remember what the the name
I mean,
of the
he had
the
his
group
own
was.
unique style, his own unique
Yeah.
flavor. I mean, there was this pretentious yuppiness about him, I guess, at some point where, I mean, I wouldn't have called it yacht rock type stuff, but maybe
Yeah.
yuppie rock is maybe the more accurate term for it. He kind of coined in a way.
Even though
I
he's
would
more of
say
a blue collar guy in general.
he is, but like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like there was
the
that
people
point.
that listened to him were
Well,
more
and
the
it was
yuppie.
kind of almost ironic that he was like the first mainstream CD released in the USA. I don't know if most people know that or not. Like, I mean,
what was that? I want you
I'm trying
just
to
the
remember
way
which
you
album it was. It was whatever the hottest one was at the time or at the earlier point. I can't remember if it was Glass Houses or Innocent Man or one of the other ones there, but it was one of the earlier albums, one of the big ones. And
yeah, it must have been. Yeah, it wouldn't have been the first album. Would have been something.
No,
yeah, something
no,
really
it was
big,
like
yeah.
it was
Probably
it coincided with the
Man?
release of it.
What happened? What album was Piano Man on?
It was after that because that was just Billy Joel. That was on his first album. What's the one where he's standing there in like the suit jacket?
Oh, that's Stranger. Probably the Stranger because that's considered his best album.
I'd say that might have been the first CD. Somebody in the chat might know better than me, but like that was one of the first big mainstream CDs besides classical music was Billy Joel. So like, I mean,
made it to America.
Yeah, like as far as like a first major release corresponded with the album coming out and all that kind of business. And then, you know, as we get along, a lot of more classic stuff would come out and then newer albums would come out with it. But like,
52nd Street's with this. Yeah, 52nd Street was with the suit. The Stranger.
Okay, maybe that's the
also
one.
In a suit. Yeah, that 52nd Street's that's his sixth album.
Where he's like just standing he's like standing in a room, not the one where he's like sitting in the street. Yeah.
He's standing in the street. Well, here, I'll share my screen.
And I just remember this because I was in like watching some history of CD and somebody brought up that was like the first major label release. Yeah, it was Billy Joel.
And hail to Cowabunga Dude. And you've got the right guy here because Tom does like turtles. And Bryant Barth and Apolly's Minion.
So yeah, it wasn't this one, it was the other one.
So it was the other one, yeah. So this was so The Stranger was a really popular.
That was
a very popular album, yeah.
I think that's not the one though. It would have been later. I can't
Glass
remember.
Houses we'll go through, we'll show them all, but
Let me look here.
he doesn't have that many albums, but let's see, what was did they say anything? It was the first song. Let's see, but Moving Out, Anthony said, I'm moving out. The Stranger.
52nd Street. It was 52nd Street.
Okay, okay, that makes sense.
And the other one that was released also, ironically, was Born in the USA.
Yeah, right? So, so The Stranger, I love The Stranger. Vienna, Only the Good Die Young. She's Always a Woman. I mean, all great songs. Get It Right the First Time. Everybody's like, those are kind of like B singles, but they're not horrible. But Scenes from the Italian Restaurant, Moving Out.
That's a great album, though.
That's a great freaking album, yeah. And let's see, who was...
I think I got the special edition of that one.
52nd
The Stranger.
Let's look at that. You never know what you're going to get in the geekery. And hail to Donnie.
You brought him up.
Yeah, no, but that's what I love about hanging out and just like,
Big
chat with friends.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I love Big Shot.
You had to be a big shot, didn't
ya? So, and his lyrics, like, he tell a story, like, I always talk about my parents on, hanging out with them, and this, like, in the car, you could listen to Billy Joel in the car, like Led Zeppelin. Normally, I couldn't listen with the parents, like, they'd let you listen to a few songs, but
right.
Billy Joel or the Beatles was no problem to put a cassette in. Yes, a cassette in there, but yeah, Big Shot, Honesty. And My Life, of course, that Bosom Buddies. Got to get you, yeah. And Zanzibar is a good song, but not probably a huge hit, but a pretty good song. Stiletto is great.
Until
Rosalinda's Eye. Yeah, Until the Night's great, yep. Rosalinda's Eyes I really like, too. So that's what you miss.
I'm trying to remember that one.
Yeah, Rosalinda. Dun, dun, dun. I can't sing, but it's like an off-key, I don't say off-key, but off-tempo, so it's a weird tempo to that song. Inspired by its mom. But that's what and you youngins don't get to today, unfortunately, is you don't get to listen. Thank you, Brian. Yep. Says 52nd Street, catching up to the chat here. You don't get to listen to a whole album. Like Zanzibar, you're probably never going to hear on the radio, but you might really like the song, or Rosalinda's Eyes, or Stiletto is a good song. So that's what I miss about listening to albums. You just listen to the
Well, that was years of album
greatest
rock, though.
yeah. But that's the problem with like, and I'm guilty of it too today. I listen to, my Pandora mix. I've got like 200, bands in there, and it's just playing everything, but it's just playing the greatest hits. It's not playing albums. Now this album was all effed up because it was put on the record at the wrong speed. So it was the album sold poorly. And it was due to a mastering error. The original LP release ran at a faster speed than originally recorded. Imagine that your first album, and they print it, and it's too fast. It's effed up. So they put a remix, edited, and speed corrected version of the album. So unbelievable. Yeah, it didn't do that well. What's on Cold Spring Harbor? She's Got Away. That's a freaking great song. Everyone Loves You Now. Everyone Loves You Now. Yeah, that's a great song. Yep. Turn Around. Yeah, so I'd probably say that. Yeah, the two good songs, really good songs, are She's Got Away, and Everyone Loves You Now is a good one. But I don't think there's anything really great on that album other than those two songs. But it's not horrible when you listen to it.
No.
Now, Turnstiles is a greatest hits album. Right? Hits, isn't it?
Is it?
Is Turnstiles greatest hits, or is that? No.
I was gonna say that's too early.
Say Goodbye to what had? Didn't let's see. Three begins to Say Goodbye to Hollywood. Okay, all right. I'm mixing up albums. Yep. Yeah, Say Goodbye to Hollywood, classic. Summer Highland Falls.
New York State of Mind.
Yep, an all-time classic. James, I don't really like. That's not a good song, but Angry Young Man. I've Loved These Days in Miami 27. Seeing the Lights Go Out on Broadway. Yeah, that's all great songs. And Summer Highland Falls is a great song, and it's kind of overlooked song. Christy Brinkley did the album cover for his last album, River of Dreams, actually. She did the artwork on this. Now this one's...
And it looks like it.
Yeah, so that's her artwork.
In
Yeah,
the middle of the night. That's his last top 40 hit.
that was it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, his new song I don't think made the... I mean, it did well, I think, for some sales, but since the charts are all different now, I don't know if it charted or not. Did you hear his newer song from like last year?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was decent. Yeah. It's that new the young kid that produced the Stones album, which is really good, I thought. The new Stones album.
Yeah, that was a pretty good song. Not as memorable as the Beatles one, but...
Yeah, but it was a decent song. Yep. Yeah, River of Dreams is a really good song. Lullaby Good Night. I mean, it's if you're a fan of Billy Joel, you'd like it. Shades of Grey. There's some okay songs in it, but River of
Dreams is actually a very undersung song, to be honest with you.
That's got a good rhythm to it. Yep. And then Famous Last Words. I mean, it's just kind of like an end to his career, it's amazing. It's so prolific, and that's it, right? Yep. So, Innocent Man, yeah, Glass Houses.
Innocent Man is one of my favorites. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say Glass Houses. That's I think this is when he really went nuts, right off the charts. Probably with Glass Houses was probably.
Trying to remember the big hits.
What was his? I mean, The Stranger was.
Well, this has got.
This was after The Stranger. Let's see what
year. You May Be Right.
This is 80.
Still Rock and Roll and all of that. Yeah. Look at all those singles right there.
Sometimes a Fantasy is one of my favorite songs. I love that song. Yeah, You May Be Right was a massive freaking hit. And then it's Still Rock and Roll to Me.
Rock and Roll to Me is
the biggest.
Probably, although it's not his best song by far. It's actually probably one of my least favorite of his songs because I don't know how he feels about it, but it's one of his most laziest songs, to be honest with you. It's like so simple. Well, it's overplayed because it's so short.
Yep. 2:57. Yep. Still Rock and Roll to Me. I have the single for that somewhere too. In one of the trunks. Yep.
Don't get me wrong, it's a great fucking song. But it's like the most overplayed of his songs, and it's kind of like he's got so many better songs. Like that's the lowest on the list.
Right? But that song was everywhere. I think this album, he like peaked at this album or like hit a plateau And then
because he's got a ways
and then
to
with
go,
Christy Brinkley, and then like this was like his start of his really high point. I think he was on the radar, but this he was on all the shows, and don't ask me why. That's
he was big in the
song.
70s, but I mean, I don't know if there was anybody but Prince and Michael, and who were probably bigger in the 80s. That was kind of my point I was getting at. Like, as much shit as we give him, maybe Springsteen, but.
Yeah, this is great stuff. Yeah, All for Lane is a great song. Yeah, Sleeping with the Television on. I love that. Yeah, and I don't want to be alone. Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to sing it, but great song. Just listen to this over and over. Close to the Borderline, great song. Through the Long Night. C'est toi, you were the one. Oh, his French accent is so fucking bad. My dad spoke French, so when he listened, he's like, I appreciate him trying to sing French, but his accent is bullshit. So, which album was Only the Good Die Young on? That was.
I thought that was an earlier one.
Earlier album, yeah. That was. Wasn't that off of The Stranger? No, that was off of 52nd Street.
Maybe.
I just looked at it. I'm trying to remember.
We looked at that one. I don't remember seeing
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which. What the hell was that? What was.
No, it's not on that one. We haven't seen it yet, I don't think.
The chat will get it before I can find it with the power of the internet. Wasn't The Stranger? No. Oh yeah, Stranger. Only the Good Die Young. 6 track. Yep. Yeah, moving out. Yeah, so so that was probably pretty big. Yep. And Brian Hepburn says Zanzibar. See, is his favorite Billy Joel song. Flute, horn, and trumpet solos by Freddie Hubbard. So it's just. And Brian's got a question for us. Says, do you agree Piano Man is his magnum opus? Yes and no, because it's not my favorite Billy Joel song. Well, I love the song.
No, but it will be the name of his biopic. Let's be real.
Yeah, that would be the song. But let's see if we have a list of Billy Joel songs. New York State of Mind has got to be up there.
I mean, he's got much better, more complicated songs than Piano Man, but Piano Man became an anthem. And it's one of those songs where you can play it at a bar and everybody knows all the words to it. Even people who don't like Billy Joel like that song.
Yeah. And it's a limerick. If you ever, if you have Sirius or Howard Stern, listen to his interview of Billy Joel. He's interviewed him a bunch of times, but he had a special with him where Billy Joel was on and he was playing some of his songs. And Howard does a great job with his interviews. And Billy was like saying how simple the song was. He's like, it's just a simple limerick. He said people love it. But yeah, it's the one that everyone.
Yeah, I think it's only like 4 chords too. I think.
Yeah, it's so simple. We didn't start the fire, and I've heard, sometimes he doesn't like the song. Possibly,
well, it's not that he doesn't like the song. It's hard to sing because he forgets all the words.
Oh, yeah.
He said this more recently. He was talking about. He goes, the beauty of it is my fans know it so well. If I get lost, all I got to do is look for somebody in the audience and start realizing where they're mouthing, and then I just start singing along. He's like, yeah, because, it's just one of those. I mean, to me, I wish he'd have done a new version of it to add the last, 20, 30, now 40 years to it.
That'd be so cool. Yeah, that would be cool.
Like, we didn't start the fire 2025 or something like that, to kind of. Yeah. Well, I mean, 89 was when the first one came out, so last year would have been more apropos.
Yeah, it would have been fun if he had done that. Yep. And New York State of Mind is gonna be remembered. Now, I can't stand "I Want You Just the Way You Are" because it's so freaking overplayed, like the syrupy wedding song.
It's a very syrupy song. Yes, it's one of my least favorites of his.
I mean, it's not that it's a bad song, but every time I hear it, I cringe. And part of that's being overplayed.
It's his standard, right?
Yeah.
Like it's how songwriters they'll write that song that becomes like a standard. You could hear Frank Sinatra singing it.
Yeah. It would work for that. I mean, it's not a bad song.
It's just the way you are.
It's just I don't want to. When I'm in a concert, he's got to play it usually. And I'd say my favorite songs are probably "Scenes from an Italian Restaurant," "It's Just a Fantasy," and "Summer Highland Falls" is up. And of course, "You're My Home," which is my wedding song, or first dance. But he's just got so many great. "Good Night Saigon" from the Nylon Curtain. We had a priest that did a sermon to that song. It was so powerful. And he would play. He was like a young priest at the time. He just passed away from cancer, cancer. He'd left the priesthood years ago.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, for that album, wasn't he like the first concert in the USSR or whatever you want to call it since?
Yeah, he was the first capitalist bastard, I think, in many years there. Him. Because
I just
Kamchatka, that's his concert. Yeah, with the album there, and he was like, let's just try to bring people together with music, and it's the government, it's never the people. And not, he was trying to, like that speech from Rocky 4, the views can change and we can change and we can all change, that's what he was going for.
Well, as I always said, Rocky single-handedly ended the Cold War, so
yeah, he did. Yeah.
He did, yeah.
So let's see. Nine Curtains, a great album too. I love that album. 82.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about. I just got the special edition, and it comes with the DVD or Blu-ray or whatever of the concert itself too.
Oh,
it's like a whole documentary movie he did at the time, I guess, or something.
Oh wow, that's very cool. Yeah. So of course, Allentown's about the end of the steel mills in Pennsylvania. Great song. Laura. Another really good song. That's my sister's name. Pressure, love, pressure. And Good Night, Saigon. I mean, that's a freaking powerful song. I'll never forget that priest giving that sermon. And good old Father Joe, who just passed away from cancer. He was a good guy. But God, he was. I was an altar boy. I'm like 8-10 years old, and he was not a priest yet. And he was giving his first sermon, one of his first sermons. And people started clapping because he was so goddamn good. I'm going to blaspheme now. His sermon was so goddamn good. I'm like, are you allowed to clap?
Like, I will allow it.
I will allow it. I'm like, are you allowed to clap in church? Us Catholics are pretty staid in church, We don't get down like the Baptists and sing, loud.
Yeah, you're not supposed to get all loud and stuff. That's
not loud and stuff. And he was so good, yeah. And it was a really hard hitting, because I think that was his generation that probably had fought in Vietnam. His age, or he would have known a lot of people that age, because obviously he was 20 years old.
What was his name again?
Well, it was just Father Joe Amato.
I was gonna say, didn't they have him on like relevant radio or something all the time?
Well, no, I don't. I don't know. I mean, I lost track of. But he left the priesthood and became he was a counselor and a psychologist. But I mean,
and then when you mentioned him, I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar.
If he wasn't on TV, I mean, I never knew him being on TV or anything, but he was that TV, charismatic.
Radio.
He was super charismatic guy, and like the masses got really. They had like a Ute mass. Excuse me, I shouldn't say youth. A Ute mass on Sunday at 5:00, and they had like a folk group, like strings and guitars, and they tried to make it for the kids, and it was really a great time because he had the sermons were geared towards the youngins, not way back when in the Bible and Sodom and Gomorrah times, and if you listen to Black Sabbath, you're going to burn in hell. Which my sister came home one time with a different priest and was worried I was going to burn in hell because I listened to Black Sabbath because she's 10 years younger.
That night was the night I bought 3 more Black Sabbath albums.
Yeah. Would you like to see the Pope hang from a rope? Yep. And and Brian, and that's a lyric I'm quoting. That's not, don't go after me, YouTube peoples. That's a lyric I'm quoting. Quoting Black Sabbath. Yep. And I don't want to see it, but they were attacking organized religion, and they had, it's figurative, it's not literal. Brian says music. I'd say scenes from an Italian restaurant. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's probably the best with the slow start and then it gets going, and
it's definitely like one of his. It's like his Bohemian Rhapsody or whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
that's a very popular pick. Yeah, and a great song, and of course. Could you imagine, like, being able to write "She's Got Away" or "She's Only a Woman"? Like, no wonder he ended up with Christy Brinkley. It's like if you could write a love song that's that good, right? I mean, that's going to get the ladies, right? That's what that.
It don't always work as well as you think.
He ended up with Christy Brinkley, so I'm gonna give him.
Yeah, but he's not a bad-looking guy either. Let's be real.
I don't know. A lot of people say he looked like a bug, but
he may have. But like, I mean, look. You ever notice that some of the most unconventional guys are the ones that wind up with the hottest chicks? I mean, Billy Bob Thornton, Woody Allen.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Harvey Weinstein.
Right?
It was a joke. Laugh, people.
It was a joke. I could do that laugh track. Yep.
I got one, actually. I could have just done it.
There we go. Like James. Oh, James is not a good song. Like your. Oh, the one song that. Root Beer Rag.
That one's alright.
I love Root Beer. Oh, I love Root Beer Rag. Yep. We can never play on the piano.
I say Nylon Curtain was the one I don't really care for all that much. It's alright.
No?
But I'm trying to remember what songs were even on it.
The song or the album. Oh, I love the Nylon Curtain. Pressure, Allentown.
Oh, Allentown is about the only one I really know on there.
Yeah.
Pressure, yeah. But that's about it, yeah.
This is one of my favorite. Yeah, Root Beer Rag. Just love this freaking song. This is when I was trying to learn the piano.
I'm pretty sure I have this one.
The Entertainer's on there.
Entertainer. Oh, I love the Entertainer.
Entertainer's a great song. Yeah.
So what album was Captain Jack on? Because that was like one of his first ones, if not the Entertainer. What was
Captain Jack will get you high.
Get you high tonight. Yeah.
Let's see. We got the list.
That's got to be
here.
one of his first ones, if not the first one. I don't even know if it was Billy Joel
Songs
yet.
in the That's what I was mixing up. Songs in the Attic. I was mixing up Songs with the Attic with Turnstiles, because Songs in the Attic is got some live songs. Yeah. So, and then it adds. So yeah, You're My Home. Yep. So that's introduced his earlier works to fans who had come to know his work after The Stranger. But I think
so it's kind of a.
But I think Captain Jack is new.
Is it new on that?
Oh no, Feature on Piano Man. Feature on Piano Man, the live version.
Piano Man? Okay.
Yeah. So I think this is when it became popular.
Oh, you mean it must have been on a single or something, because it's not on the album Billy Joel. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So You're My Home, that's our wedding song. Yep.
Because Captain Jack to me is probably one of his lesser known but really good.
Oh God.
Hidden gems or whatever you want to call it.
That's a great song. Yeah.
It is.
I think in some ways it's equal to Piano Man in terms of concert, like a fun concert song.
I mean, if people know it, yeah. It's one that not a lot of people know now, but it was kind of more popular like when we were growing up. But like,
yeah,
just because of some of the shitty things. I mean, it's a raunchy little fucking song. I mean,
oh, it is. Yeah. It's got masturbation in it. Yeah, Captain Jack, thank you. Let's go. Yep. And She's Got a Way About Her is better.
Masturbation,
than
drug use.
Yes. Yeah. For sure. Yep. Captain Jack.
It's 7 minutes long. It's like,
yeah. Oh, it's like one of those great concert songs. So yeah.
Captain Jack will get you high tonight. Because you can sing with the chorus even if you don't know all the words, right?
Yeah. It's an anti-drug song. What's so horrible about an affluent young teenager's life that he's got to shoot bleep? It's a real song about what I consider to be a pathetic loser kind of lifestyle. I've been accused of, the song promotes drug use and masturbation. No. Listen to the song.
No,
this guy is a loser.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know how
so many friends shoveled under the Long Island dirt. Yeah. The miracle of modern chemistry killed them if Vietnam didn't. Yeah. Let's see. Captain Jack lyrics. Let's check out the Captain Jack lyrics.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild song.
If you haven't listened to it, But that's why that song, that album is so good. Songs in the Attic. So Saturday night, you're still hanging around, tired of living in your one-horse town. Yep. You like to find a little hole in the ground for a while, and I can hear the music as I'm saying, reading this. So you go to the Village in your tie-dye jeans and you stare at the junkies in the closet kings, we'll say. It's like some pornographic magazine, and you smile. Yep. Captain Jack, and that's the refrain. It's Captain Jack will get you high tonight. Yeah. Take you to your special island. Yeah. Just a little pushing and be smiling. Oh yeah. So your sister's gone out. She's on a date, and just sit at home and masturbate. Yeah. Your phone is gonna ring soon, but you just can't wait for that call. So, yeah, these are just great freaking lyrics. It's 7
is Captain
minutes.
Jack like drinking, or is it?
I always thought it was Jack Daniels.
I was thinking so too. Yeah.
I always thought it was Jack Daniels. Yeah. take you to your special island, right? Yeah, because Captain Jack, you know,
Yep.
Captain Jack will make you high tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, because you mentioned smoking your pot.
Yeah. And here's what he calls him a loser. And if you can't understand why your world is so dead, why you've got to keep in style and feed your head. Well, you're 21 and still your mother makes your bed.
Yep.
And that's too long. You know.
Yeah.
And either way, you know, the way it's sung is just
I can
so
say
great.
31 for the average.
31. Yeah. Hey, Keely Chow. Sorry the tide didn't roll for you. Oh, that came out too. Like I got to shrink that link there. I hate it when the links are like 3 miles long. You try to put a
But
link
yeah,
there.
so beyond Billy Joel, I think you got a couple super chats there. Did you get them?
Oh, we got super. Did I miss some super
Yeah,
chats?
it looks like I don't know if you got them or not, but
How come they're not showing up?
looks
on
like
there?
3
Let's
of
see.
them on my end here.
Oh my goodness.
What's your favorite Batman movie from Jeremiah Hembry?
Oh, maybe
You got
those
2
are
more
old
super
ones.
chats. Are they? Chuck
Let's
Norris
see.
narrates Morgan Freeman's life.
I think those are from. Why is that showing up from last week then?
Are they from last week?
Yeah, those are from last week. You know, it did that last time.
Stuffing. Yeah, okay. All right, never
Yeah,
mind. My bad.
No,
now you
but
guys
thank
got to
you, yeah.
send in super chats because I feel like an asshole.
I hate to miss them, but
3. We need at least 3.
we need at least 3. Yeah. Where? Oh, yeah, because they're not showing up on mine. That's weird.
Oh, they're from last week, evidently. They're
last
starred
week.
still.
Yeah, it did that a
Yeah.
couple times where and I'm like, oh my god, I missed the super chat, and you know that's like the cardinal sin of streaming is to miss the super chat unless you get as many as like some of those really big YouTubers. You need to do a
Keely Chow coming in from Hong Kong.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's have you is Hong Kong Fooey there too, or with you, or
Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
yeah. Oh yeah, Captain Jack is on. Thank you. Yep. And
Is
yeah, I
it?
agree. She's Got Away is really a great song. Let's see.
They're kind of equal.
Yeah.
You can tell when he's writing both these is like either they're going to get me laid or these are going to be played at
Yeah.
every darn wedding for the next 40 years. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he knew what he was probably doing with them.
Yeah.
I'm not really into his lovey-dovey shit so much. Like, I get it. He's really
Yeah.
good at writing lovey-dovey shit. But
Yeah.
his better songs are his story songs, like Piano Man.
Yeah.
Like, even it's Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, even though it's kind of got a love song element to it, it's not, though. It's a story song. And I mean, you know, We Didn't Start the Fire or, you know, some of those other ones, Allentown even, for instance. But
Yeah.
I mean, You May Be Right is even one of his, you know, like, it's just about being crazy at the end of the, even though it's kind of a love song, but it's not exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would listen to them, you know, like on a date or with a chick back in the day. Like you'd listen to, you know, some of that stuff. Like if you're out, you know, Saturday night or something, and then after you went to the movies, like those were good tracks to put on. Thank you, Billy Joel. Those always worked pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Or like "Wonderful Tonight" by Eric Clapton. I know it's Clapton, but I just got to say Clapton because
Clapton.
that's Jocelyn Elders would always say Eric Clapton. I love Eric Clapton. Yeah, and yeah, you know, "Wonderful Tonight." That sometimes ended up with a very happy evening ending. Those kind of songs
Yeah.
worked. Now this, Speak of the Devil, I was going through I'm cleaning up my file cabinet a little bit because I moved my 3D printer and some stuff around, and I was looking for something, and I went to the Billy Joel concert
Oh, wow.
on 9/25. This is weird that I found this. 86. So this was in New Haven Coliseum. And actually, they don't have, you know, Track FM. They usually have the concert tracks or the list of tracks. And they didn't have it up there, so I got to upload this or put my list up.
Did you do this by memory or how did you?
I probably did it by memory, but I had a much
Wow,
better
look at this
memory back
fucking
then.
nerd.
Nerd. And all right, I'm in the second row of this concert. Guess how much my tickets cost on 9/25/86?
86? $25 for Billy Joel.
Well, second row, so a little bit more.
Second
not
row?
more.
Okay, a little bit more. Okay.
It was a
45.
scalper. I shouldn't say. Well, yeah. All right,
Oh,
very
shit,
close. 50
60.
bucks.
50.
No,
Okay,
50
so
bucks. Yeah, but 50
50.
bucks to be in the second row. Yeah, you know that's
that means the
$5
tickets were 25 initially. Probably.
25. Yeah. So 25 initially. So,
Now you're going to pay $325 for just shit seats.
Yeah. those
I
seats would
looked
have
up,
been like
I was gonna go to see fucking Steve Martin, not even a concert. Steve Martin, and it was like $1,000.
right.
Paul McCartney was like, oh shit, and these were crap seats. I think it was like $4,000 or $5,000
Just for crappy seats, just to get in the
Yeah.
building, like through
Weird Al was
scalpers
one of
or.
the cheaper ones, but his was still in the hundreds.
Jeez.
I mean, they're just getting insane. And this is why when people bitch about going to the theater, I'm like, just shut up. I know it's
Shut up.
expensive, but everything's fucking expensive right now. Go to a concert. Go to a
Right.
ball game. Try getting into a football game.
Right. So so this was let me find out 1986.
The only thing
This
might be
concert.
cheaper than going to a movie is mini golf, and that's if it's a shithole.
Right.
Bowling. Bowling is about the only other thing you can do.
Right. So this was the 1986 song tour. The Bridge comes out. Big Billy Joel fan. I'm in college at this time. So what am I? This would have been sophomore year. It doesn't matter. Freshman, sophomore year. And there was a guy on the floor called just say and he was very short. And this is the guy that played Bruce Springsteen nonstop. His first name was Chris, but we all called him Smurf. We were mean and we had Pete and Repeat. There were two Pete's next to each other, so we called them Pete and Repeat. And Smurf had a deal, had a contact, and he's like, "Well, I can get these tickets. We're gonna have to pay a shit ton of money, but they're really good seats for New Haven Coliseum, and we can get in there, but it's gonna be second row." So it was October 25th. Yeah, what did I write here? 25th. Yep. So I'm at this tour in New Haven Coliseum, which has been torn. I think that one's been torn down now, and it's going to cost $50. I'm like, $50 is going to be worth it. $50. I don't know. Should I put 50? So like today, it's like $50 is still okay. Yeah, not a sneezable amount of money. $50, but to go to a concert and see Billy Joel in the second freaking row for $50. And I'd usually been to heavy metal concerts, so we get there. The crowd is like just sitting there and sitting, like cheering, but not like standing up. And I'm on the floor. I'm like, usually the crowd is going nuts. It wasn't until Only the Good Die Young that people like rushed the stage and went nuts. I was like, what's going on here? But so here's the song. Yeah, so Matter of Trust. He comes out. He was playing guitar. That's from the. Like Billy Joel can play guitar, not not that well, but a little bit. Yep. Pressure, You're Only Human, Piano Man, early with Piano Man, Scenes from a Italian Restaurant, Vienna Waits for You, Allentown, Goodnight Saigon, Ballad of Billy the Kid, Big Man on Big Man on Mulberry Street. That's off the new album. Baby Grand, great song off that album. Just the Way You Are, I'm like, "Rrr." This Is the Time, good song. Yeah, The Longest Time, Innocent Man, Only the Good Die Young. Did I have that on there? Yeah, Only Good Die Young. Tell Her About It, Uptown Girl. Sometimes a Fantasy, You May Be Right. It's Still Rock and Roll to Me, and This Night Could Last Forever. And that's the 22 songs that he played that night. So I think this is in memory. So so I must have gone back or asked my friend like what number was Innocent Man. So but yeah, it was a fun. God, it was a fun concert. But $50, yep. And Brian said, I had tickets for Billy's concert. It was supposed to be on October 4th at Levi Stadium. Was that when he canceled everything? He had health problems and had to cancel everything. Yeah. And Keely said, at least it's cheaper to go to an AEW show or event than a WWE show or event. Yeah. There's
But
nothing.
you're still talking quite a bit, though, probably.
A couple $100 probably get in the building,
Oh,
right?
easy, yeah.
Yeah. So,
But
not
speaking
easy.
of going to movies and stuff,
Yeah, why don't we talk about Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair?
since I don't think you saw Friday Night at Freddy's, and neither did I.
No, and you
Did
actually
get
got
to-
there.
You didn't get to go to Kill Bill, you said, so yeah.
No, I'm gonna try to see if I can go this. It's only playing through Wednesday, I think.
Well, here's the weird thing, because like for the longest time, it seemed it was getting like a really limited release, and I was like kind of pissy because I'm like, damn, I don't want to drive an hour or just over an hour to go see it. Yeah, and then one of the semi-closer theaters got it, but it's a crappy theater. But I'm like, all right, because they haven't updated it in like 25 years.
I hate
Like,
seeing
all
if
right.
you're gonna go see an event and then you got to sit there for 15 or 4 hours
Well,
too.
that was the thing. The length of it and all that kind of business and trying to get back here in time for the show and everything necessitated me going to the more local or shitty theater, and I regretted it. That being said, I mean, overall, the experience of getting to see the film in the theater again, all in one shot, I'll be honest, I would have rather just seen it as 2 parts.
So what's his
The intermission's
what's his
right
name?
where the 2 parts are anyway. So
Weinstein was correct.
you know, I'll be honest with you. I would have much rather seen him go in and just chuck in every deleted bit and stuff into this and make each part like 3 hours long and then have like
that'd have been cool.
6-hour epic of 2 films.
Yeah, or
'Cause
you
let's
could go
be real.
twice, release them separately, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
Like, again, Kill
'Cause
Bill,
let's
the extended edition, Volume 1. Yeah,
Yeah, volume 1 and then volume 2 all over again. Because I mean, I'll try to keep it brief, but like, he didn't really add all that much to the movie. Now, because I saw a bootleg of the whole bloody affair like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, something like that. It's
doesn't
the
he
same
have it
movie.
playing at his movie theater? The original cut that was shown at
Yeah, and
at,
it's the
Camp-
same movie. The only difference here between that and this version, is my understanding, is that they added that animated sequence,
yeah,
which is probably the longest edition. And see, that's new. That's not something that was from back in the day.
that's
And they
like
did
9
not
minutes or
use
something.
they didn't use the other intro. Because in the version I saw, the only other difference between that version and this one, and other than the animated sequence, was that the beginning of the movie begins with the way part 2 begins, where it starts out, she's like, I've killed a lot of people to get to this point, and I'm on my way to kill Bill. And that's how the original version started off that I saw. And then it cuts into the movie proper. And then, because the other thing that's different besides the crazy 88 scene, which is, you know, in color and a little bit longer, which is the same version I saw.
Yeah, let's explain that. So,
yeah.
Originally, wasn't that made black and white to help
Well,
lower the rating?
Because they got an NC-17 otherwise, yeah.
Yep, so they wanted to take out some of the blood and guts, so that's restored. And what's that, but like 2 minutes of the movie or 3 minutes?
Maybe
or
like a
longer?
minute or two, because there's a few shots and bits and pieces here and there that were cut out completely before, and it's all in color now, obviously.
Is it very noticeable? I guess you have, if you know the
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
I mean, if you didn't know the movie and you saw it the first time, you wouldn't say, well, what's the difference, right? Obviously,
Seeing it now, and like I remember seeing it anyway, it was still at the time I felt the same way. I'm like, this violence is so over the top and cartoony that I don't understand why it just didn't get an R-rated pass. Especially in the first film.
I guess
Or
it's
the
a
first
level
part.
of violence too, or how much violence there
Right.
is, and it's Tarantino too. Don't forget. So they're probably busting his balls.
And then the only other difference then is at the end of this first half or whatever, the audience doesn't get the cliffhanger like they do in the original film. It ends the same, the first half does, with Sophie talking to Bill, but he doesn't say, is she aware that her daughter is still alive? The audience doesn't learn that until she learns it in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So it'd
That's
be
a
the
plot
second half.
change. Yeah.
Right when she walks in on Bill and sees BB standing there, that's when she and the audience originally learned that BB was still alive. So that is different. But other than that, the second half runs, as far as I could tell, exactly the same. They didn't even add the bit that was in the trailer originally, where there was that fight between Bill and that other big dude in the street and some other stuff that was. He didn't add anything else. So like, if you're expecting like this big elongated version, like I was talking about, like, no, you're not going to get it. You're just getting that straight ass version, which, again, to remind people, there's actually a little bit more technically in the 2-part version, because he had to bridge the two,
Right?
by making it 2 parts. And here's my other reasoning. Yeah, and my other reasoning why I think it should be 2 parts is because the tones are so different from part 1 to part 2, or the first half to the second half. And the reason is, and I don't even know if people think about this too often, is the first half, or the first part, is all B telling you the story. She is the narrator. So that's why it's all anime style and over the top and all that kind of shit. Because like, even when you get to part 2, where they're talking about the crazy 88, Michael Madsen's character is like, is there really 88 of them? And Bill's like, no, they just like to call themselves that because it sounds cool. So you get the idea that she's embellishing the story in the first half. Because when you get to the second half, that's where it's like, it works better as two films because the second half is happening in real time and it's more realistic. It's more, grounded. And the fight scenes are more grounded, a little bit more low key, more compressed and personal, right? Because especially with the Ellie scene and then with Bill, because those are the two main fights in that. And that's it, really, because there's no other big fights in the second half. So that makes the second half is more of this spaghetti Western kind of movie where
slow moving.
Yeah, like the man with no name who was
drama.
left for dead, who's going after the guys who killed him. Yeah, that's basically what that is. So to me, I personally like it better as two films. I think it works better as two films. And the sad part is when it comes out on 4K, it's gonna be on two discs. Right? There's not going to be able to fit the whole movie on one disc.
They can't
even if
fit
they
it,
take
right?
out the intermission. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they can't fit it. So, and someday maybe they'll have a new ultra HD. I don't know. I doubt we're ever going to get a new format. I think Blu-ray is probably the last.
This is it. 4K UHD is probably the end of the road.
I think that's
especially after the Warner Brothers sale, which we'll talk about here in a bit.
Yeah. I think that's the end of physical. As much as my Oppo player and I are crying, I think physical media is dying out in the next 20 years. Don't get mad at the messenger, but I think it's going to go away because first of all, companies don't want people to own things, right? Not you can't even buy like Microsoft Word. Yes, I know you can, but for most part, all software is leased. You've got all these tokens you have to buy for AI crap, and they don't want you to own the disc. Like say when I croak or Tom croaks, that day'll come someday, unfortunately. But yeah, you can pass your collections on to your kids or friends or but if you own things digitally, what's going to happen to all those passwords? You lose your passwords or it's in a different account. I got to switch to dad's old legacy account to play this stuff, and that way you've got to keep buying it over and over or pay to stream it versus owning the sucker. So I think as much as we're two huge movie nerds and physical media collectors and always point out I used to buy so many DVDs. I bought that DVD opening tool, which I've shown multiple times on the show, where here I'll flick my camera on again, where you bought so many DVDs back in the day that they freaking had a tool that you could buy to open your
we had those at Movie Gallery and stuff,
right? So they sold these, and this was to open up your DVD cases. So the outside
I used
was
to have
the
a
big
bunch of
one.
them. I lost them all, though.
Yeah, I have a bunch of these.
I think people stole them from them, to be honest with you.
See, it says freaking DVD on there. But this was like a first world problem where you had to have a DVD open.
Oh, trust me, you got to open a bunch of those bastards at once. That is a lifesaver.
Right? And it worked pretty good, yeah. Oh, and while I've got my camera on, as I was cleaning up to find shit, look what I found. Well, I had the Surfer, but he had lost his board. So
you found the board?
So I found the board, and this is so cool because it's magnetic.
Oh, it's magnetic. I was just going to say, it's magnetic, evidently.
Yeah, unlike the new freaking bazillion-dollar Galactus figure, this is magnetic. Why didn't they do that on
Imagine that. They were more innovative years ago. Yeah.
20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. So this comes with Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck. And this had fallen behind the file cabinet that's behind my drafting table. It came with Howard? It came with Howard the Duck, yep. It came with Howard the Duck. I'll show the figure card in a second.
He's a duck in a world he didn't make.
Yeah, this was on the ground in the dark. I'm looking. I'm like, that's the surfboard. To me, my board. And it was behind my file cabinet. I instantly recognized it, even though it was in the dark. I'm like, oh, God, I've been looking for this freaking thing for years. I've been looking for the surfboard, the surfer's board. Like Power Cosmic had failed me, so I wasn't able to find it quickly. But this is one kick. Whoop. It's magnetic, but not perfect, I'll have to say that. Maybe the magnet's lost a little bit of strength, but once you get them balanced on there, it's pretty good. This is one kick-ass figure. I think it's just as good as the new. Well, he's stuck to Galactus. I'm not going to pull him off, but just such a cool thing with the surfboard.
The coming of Galactus.
Right? So here, let's get the surfer. surfing up there. But I know Eric K would like this, so I gotta post this on Twitter.
Move it a little bit to the left there. You're off camera. There you go. Oh, right there.
Yeah, because I'm on vertical. Yeah, the
go.
vertical. Forget on the vertical. Yeah, I gotta stay vertical centered. Yep. But yeah, Marvel Legends figure. So let me.
You know what he's missing is like a bottle in his right hand, because otherwise he's like, ooh, play some Skinner.
Play some Skinner. Yeah. So here, let's.
Naughty Billy Joel. So yeah, no, I can recommend getting to go if you get a chance to go see it. I don't know if they'll extend it, but yeah, as I was trying to say at the beginning, like they opened up in more theaters than they initially were planning on, but I don't know how well it did, because I think it only made like I think 2 million or close to it.
Was it? Well, it's so long too. It's like
that's the thing. I mean, some people are trying to say it did really well considering how long, which is true.
Yeah.
This is my other gripe. 45 minutes of fucking previews.
Even at that one?
Yes, because I was the only one in the theater.
You were the only one there.
And I kept my phone on so I could kind of watch the time. And I shit you not, it was like I was a 1 o'clock show. It was 1:43 by the time the movie started.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
and I thought it was going to be late.
Yeah.
Because I walked in about 5 minutes after 1. I'm like, "Does the movie started yet?" And the lady's like, "Nah, it's still in previews." And then I had other issues with it too. I wish I would have went to one of the better theaters, like I was explaining earlier, because
with the reclining, with the
all that business.
Yeah,
because I'll be honest with you, they had the screen. It was like jittery, and I kept telling them there's something wrong with it. It's like out of focus or something.
And
they tried fixing it, and they couldn't figure it out, so they just let it be. And I kept telling them the left surround channels weren't working at all, and they didn't do nothing with those. So I have no idea.
Were you the only person in the theater?
I was the only one in that theater. Everybody else was at Friday night at Freddy's. And,
so you were going out and you went to, how'd you tell them this? You just ran and said, "Hey,
I did like 2 or 3 times."
You ran
while
out.
I was in the theater, like they're sitting there messing with it up there. He's like, "I can't see it. I can't tell if it's." I'm like, "Okay, you guys." I said, "It's still fuzzy. You can look at the O and look at the whatever in intermission." And I'm like, and he started futzing with it. I'm like, "There, don't touch it. Don't move. Like it's perfect now." And then he let it go, and it like went back to normal. And they said something I couldn't understand what they're saying. So I don't know if their focus thing was fucked up on there or what. But then they just quit messing with it. So I was like, I don't know if they just quit because they couldn't figure it out, or if they just.
And you're the only person in the theater.
Yeah, and the sad part is all the employees. I probably, if you added all their ages together, I'm still probably older.
Yeah. Well,
like,
this
that
is
was the other sad part, but yeah.
As I'm trying this, this is the Silver Surfer figure. So that's one of the classic Surfer with Howard the Duck. Yep.
Howard
the Duck. But that was that's frustrating too, because you want to see like, really good presentation of this, and Quentin is like a stickler on how cool the movie theater's got to be.
And I really wanted to tell, because I know this is getting really fucking nerdy now, because Kill Bill 1 and 2 came out on 4K this last year, and they were literally just up converts of the 2K inner positive, or whatever you want to call it, the master that they used back in the day. Because even though it was shot on film, they scanned it in, and Quentin edited it and mastered it on digital, like he normally does. Well, the rumor is that Lionsgate was more than willing to rescan the movie for him, and he just didn't want to do it. Well, now we're learning. I think the reason is because he was doing this version. Now I couldn't tell as I was watching it. Some shots still look like shit, but some looked a little bit better. So I'm wondering if they didn't rescan the entire movie, and that's why he was holding off. Is because he wanted this to be the definitive version. Which
that could be,
understandable. I mean, at the end of the day, I could watch it both ways. It doesn't really matter. I mean, this will probably be the version I watch from here on out anyway, just because it has the extra stuff in it now. I mean, and the stuff that it's losing is minuscule, so yeah.
Or you'd watch it on 2 nights too, right? You'd maybe not watch it all in one sitting. Yeah.
Well, the intermission just happens to come in at that exact same spot where the movie's split up, and I have a feeling that's what they'll have to do with the discs. Because the only movies I can think of that are even remotely this long are all split up over 2 discs.
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, Gone with the Wind.
Titanic.
Arabia. Not the first Godfather, but Godfather 2 is. See, because Godfather 1 and 3 are like just in that 3-hour range. Godfather 2 is over 3 hours. So
what about Titanic?
All the Lord of the Rings,
Titanic
all the Titanic is split up. All the Lord of the Rings are.
I think I have the original Titanic on VHS too. It was for people. Why do you have two VHSs? Because it's a long fucking movie. Yeah.
Because otherwise they got to compress the shit out of them, and they look like
Yeah.
hell anyway. Then so I have a feeling that the intermission is going to come in and it's going to be spread over 2 discs anyway. So you're going to be like, why the fuck isn't it just 2 movies still?
Right. And thank you for subscribing, Mark Baker. I don't. Sometimes you get a sub and they're not on the stream. It could be watching one of my other very popular shorts or other videos. But thank you, Mark Baker, if you're in the house. And we got a question from Brian. Always has great questions here. Wonder when Tarantino will make Well, first of all, I think that I'm allowing Quentin, if he's listening right now, to make more than 10 movies. It's okay.
I think everybody.
I give you a dispensation.
And
Well,
he's
me
even talked about the
specifically.
exceptions too. See, this is the
It's
thing. I
so
don't think people are
stupid.
understanding it. I mean, I get it and I don't get it. I agree and I disagree with him. I think he's going to work on some television, and I don't think he counts certain things as quote unquote movies.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be working on a few little other projects for Netflix and some other stuff.
Yeah.
He's also talked about writing a lot, and I have this weird feeling that he'll end up writing a bunch of novels and stuff, and then eventually he'll get to this point where when his kid's out of school and his kid's doing other things and he's not a homebody so much anymore, he'll get the Jones.
The ants
but
in
he'll
his
do-
pants.
Yeah, I mean he'll do like one more movie here in the next year or two probably, and then he'll act like that's the end for movies, and he'll just do television and other smaller projects until his kids are grown up. One of the two. I can't remember if he's got more than one.
Well, look at Daniel Day-Lewis came back to acting, right? And you mentioned
Yeah.
family, because didn't his son direct or his brother or some family was
Something like
directing?
that.
It was something, yeah. So he came. He said, "I'm retired forever." I mean, yeah, if you got enough money and you don't want to work, I mean, that's a problem that a lot of us have. But I can relate to not. But
We got to remember
Yeah,
how
it's
old
just-
he is too. Like
How
he's
old is
not a
Quentin?
spring chicken. He's definitely like either your age or a little older.
well, that's old. But
No, I mean as far as like being
No,
a
I joke-
director and
yeah,
continuing
yeah, well,
doing.
yeah.
He's probably a little older than you. I want to say because I'm trying to remember how old was he when Pulp Fiction came out. I want to say he was like 20.
well, someone will
when-
get us in the chat here. We'll get.
I want to say he was
Let
like
us know how.
27 when Pulp Fiction came out. So that means that would put him.
That's his 4th movie. No,
Like-
Kill Bill's his 4th movie. Yeah.
So I want to say he was like 20 years older than me, and you're like 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
I want to say he was born in like 60 or something like that.
That's
in that region.
we'll goggle it. 62, born 1963. Okay.
That's close.
March
See?
27. Yeah, you're close. Yep. So,
And he's
one
one of my favorites. I should know.
You would have been out of high school if I was in high school. But
Exactly.
like
So he's
close,
a little bit
close
older.
contemporary. Yeah, just
He's
a
getting to
little
that
bit.
retirement age anyway. I have a feeling
Yeah.
he'll do like Kill Bill Volume 3 as an animated film.
Yeah.
He's gonna get the ants in his pants to finish that story off because he's talked about it enough times and he's hinted that it's gonna happen, but then he's also like, I don't know. But then doing this animated sequence for this one, I'll bet you $5 in about 6 months from now we'll hear this story where he's like, he got the
Let's
bug
do the
from,
third one.
but I'll do it animated so it don't count.
Yeah.
And what the other thing is he wants to do, and this is a thing I don't think people have thought about, and this is where that Cliff Booth sequel comes in. He's talked a lot about wanting to see what other directors do with his stuff. Because he really
Yeah.
loved working with like Tony Scott, Robert Rodriguez, stuff like that. And now we've got what's his face who's directing the Cliff Booth movie. I just forgot his name, the director. Not Fincher. Yeah, Fincher. Yeah, David Fincher. So like, I have a feeling he's going to want to see what other directors will do with his stories. So that doesn't mean he'll
Yeah.
quit writing, but I think he just won't direct as much because directing takes a lot of time out of it. And I understand where he's coming from because that's where he canceled his last film because he's like, I was really into it. And then after, I finished it and I sat on it for about a month and I read it again and I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. Right. Like it's
Yeah.
there, but it's not there. It's not what I want to do now. Cause you got to remember, especially him, it's 2 years out of his life, basically. Where he's
Yeah.
gotta
He goes
commit.
all in. Yeah.
And that's a lot. I mean, he's not a normal director because once he gets into stuff, his movies are a lot different and the whole process and all that kind of stuff. And he's able to do that now. And that's where I feel like he's got one big one left in him, where that's where he's going to go out on this blaze of glory for a little bit. And then maybe he'll come back down the road. But other than that, he'll just keep writing movies and let other people direct them. They'll probably make a bunch of sequels to some of his films or spin-offs or whatever you want to call them, like the Cliff Booth thing and all that stuff.
Yep. So yeah, so he's married to Daniela Pick, daughter of musician Zava Pick.
And I think they live in Iraq or something like that.
No, they live in Tel Aviv and Los Angeles.
Tel
So they
Aviv,
split time
yeah.
between Tel Aviv and Los Angeles. Yep. And he's got two daughters. Yep.
Yep.
He previously dated Sofia Coppola. They would have made some great directing kids. Margaret
That was like
Chat,
a hot
Kathy,
minute, though, wasn't it?
Kathy, I guess, and Kathy Griffin. I'm just looking at his Wikipedia here. Yep, yep.
Yeah, I can't remember.
For 3 years,
dated
2
Kathy
years.
Griffin, Jesus
Kathy
Christ.
Griffin. Yeah, yeah. So Mia Sorvino. Ooh,
That was the one I remember that was like,
Yeah.
damn, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got a maternal half brother and 3 paternal siblings. Oh, and Brian, we'll get to your question in a second. Yep. And yeah, so and that was the thing too. On he didn't want Star Trek to be his 10th movie. Yeah. So here's his directed features here.
I
So
wouldn't be
Reservoir
surprised if
Dogs.
that Star Trek idea resurfaces at some point. He may not direct it, but
Yeah, write it or do how.
well, I mean, they may have wrote
yeah.
a script already for it. I think was the understanding. He gave the idea to one of his writing people, and I can't remember the guy's name, but then yeah. So as far as I know, the script got done. It just never. He lost interest in it by the time. Came
What
around
time?
to
Yeah,
doing
it came around, right? Yep, yep.
So he's like, I don't want Star Trek to be my last movie.
last movie. Yep, yep. So yeah, let's look at his history, and then we'll get to that question. Reservoir Dogs, an amazing movie, but I almost hate watching. We did that on Toxic Tuesday. It's just such a disturbing movie. It's so well done.
I love that
What
movie.
I love it, but it's just like it's a disturbing watch. Especially the ear scene. Even though when you look back on it, it's not. They don't really, as he says, they don't show everything, but it's just
Nope.
it's framed so well, and it's so horrifying that it works. It's showing less is more. Pulp Fiction, all-time great movie. Beautiful.
Changed
with
cinema.
Yeah, just groundbreaking. There was a second-run theater in our town that we'd go to, like $2. The movies were like $2 or $4. Like opening night when Pulp Fiction opened at the second-run theater, and we're already seen it. It was sold out, and then they announced like another showing, like thank you for everyone who comes to see Pulp Fiction. It's made us a lot of money. It's the most popular film.
I wanna
In
say
this
it took
theater.
almost a year for that son of a bitch to come to VHS, and it was a sell through when it did because I remember buying
was it?
it right
Okay.
away.
And then my mom wanted to go watch this when it came on VHS, or back then it was probably VHS, not DVD. It's like, why don't Dad and I come over and we'll rent Pulp Fiction tonight and watch it? I'm like, because it's got John Travolta and he's singing in it, and it's going to be just like Grease. This is my mom because of the scene, right? If I ever meet Quentin Tarantino, if I'm ever that lucky, I got to tell him that story. And I'm
the
thinking,
first few minutes you got John Travolta talking about eating pussy and rubbing fucking feet.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, Gimp. Yes, you're right. And I'm like, what would my dad say if he saw the Gimp scene?
Shit.
So
Bring out the Gimp.
bring out the Gimp. I'm like, Mom, I don't think it's an appropriate movie for you to watch with me and Maureen, and maybe you probably don't want to watch it with Dad either.
Might give him a heart attack.
I give him a heart attack. Like, what?
That's
the fuck
funny
is
because
this bullshit?
supposedly the injection scene did give somebody a heart attack in the theater.
Oh, it did. It scared them so
Did
much.
you hear about
Okay.
that? Yeah, I guess so.
No.
And Quentin was asked about it at the time, and he goes, "Wait, that's true?" He goes, "Yeah, I guess somebody had a screening during the scene where she gets stabbed in the heart with the needle. He went into cardiac arrest." He goes, "Well, I guess I'm gonna have to quote Steven Spielberg when he was told the same thing with Jaws. I guess it fucking works."
I guess it fucking works, right? Yeah. God, yeah.
I mean, that's a heart-stopping scene, all right. I mean that.
Yeah.
I mean that
That
movie.
is
The
a
first
crazy-
time I saw it, I
Eric
had
Stoltz.
no idea what I was
Yeah.
getting into. Like, and it changed me as a film fan. It came out at that
so good.
perfect point where I was a teenager going into young adulthood, and it just completely blew my little fucking mind at that time.
Yeah.
From beginning to end. And I watched it. It was one of those first times since I was a little kid where I was like, oh, hold up, I got to watch that all over again.
Was that good? Yeah, yeah.
Well, it was the first time. It wasn't so much that it was good.
Just
It
trying to
was
understand
like,
it.
You know, like that first time you get fucked up on, you know, either weed or alcohol, where you're just like, whoa, what the fuck happened? Like, what was that experience? I'm going to try it again just to see if I didn't like it or not, or if I did. And then, yeah, after the second time, I was probably hooked. And then I seen the movie so many damn times now. I mean, yeah, I mean, it just changed me. It changed the world. It changed cinema. I can't believe it didn't win Best Picture.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Forrest Gump can suck a cock.
Yeah, I mean, Forrest Gump is a good
It's a great film, but it ain't no Pulp Fiction.
It's nothing like Pulp Fiction. We called it Plump Fiction as a joke.
Yeah.
And Brian, I started your question, so we'll definitely.
Yeah, as far as the second half, no, I understand why some people might think it's anticlimactic, but as I pointed out in my review, there's only 2 major fight sequences in the entire film, and they are very personal. Very personal. And that's why, and not only that, I think Quentin purposefully made them very close and personal. Like Ellie and her fight is in that very enclosed, you know, camper of buds, and that to the point where they can't even pull out their swords because they're in that short hallway, right? Like I think that's purposefully done that way compared to the first film's fights or first half's fights, where they're very open and very, you know, acrobatic and showy, to where it's very in your face, personal, mano a mano type of situation. And then with Bill, it's not about the physical fight. It's the tit for tat with the kind of their, you know, is she smarter than Bill?
Emotional state too. Yeah.
It's more of a personal thing on a level of former lovers / master student / the man who tried to kill me, just
kill my daughter.
And I actually still love him and all that kind of, you know, there's a lot going on in that scene compared to the first few fights where it's Vivica A. Fox and Oranishi and, you know, AKA your neighbor.
Yeah. Yep.
And all that kind of stuff. So yeah. And Bud, he's just sad how he dies. So like, you know, I mean, he doesn't really get to fight. He just kind of goes out, you know, getting bit by a snake. So
yeah. But everything is just so, it's the build up too. And sometimes it's a journey that's more rewarding than the actual
well, the 5-finger palm death technique thing is so in kung fu movie type.
Yeah.
You know, and that she would be the only student that he would teach it to.
And she's the only one that can perform it. Yeah, it's kind of like Spock is the only one that can do the Vulcan.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that you know, Pai Mei liked her enough that even Bill, he never even taught Bill, but he taught her. You know what I mean? So it's probably, and she's probably the only one.
She's a lot better looking.
And well, not just that, but she rose above everything that she thought he was. And that's the other thing about why part 2 is such a different movie, is because we go back. That's the only part that isn't told in real time, but it is in a sense that she's laying there remembering this to get herself out of the coffin of, you know, leading up to the whole, you know, 2-inch punch or whatever, which, you know, is another classic kung fu movie trope. You know, I mean, even up to the point where they use it in Karate Kid kind of thing, right? Like when that moment, the wax on, wax off scene, when Daniel finally, it dawns on him, oh God, I've been training this whole time. You know,
a poker race.
Anyway,
he's Clippy. We got
I'll talk
Clippy
about
there.
this movie forever.
No, I want to talk about forever. Yeah, and hail to Lemon Pie. Yep. And just catching up to the chat a little bit here. Yep. And old people. LOL. Yep. We got a lot of chat going on here. Yep. We got Brian had put that question in again. Yep. And we'll talk about Star Trek Academy in a minute. But Anthem got the 4K Pulp Fiction, the Steelbook. Very cool. Yep. Yeah, people saw the edited version of Saturday Night Fever. I gotta saw the original version. I got a story about that too. Picking on my mom and dad tonight. So we went to see. I can't
imagine that version either.
So they released and Brian, you know, was a movie buff too, so he knows this. But most people wouldn't know. But Saturday Night Fever was so popular, and the Bee Gees music was so popular.
They did this to a few movies back then, I guess. Because didn't they do it to like MASH and The Longest Yard and that?
They like airplane version, but they not just for airplanes, but for they re-released it to the theaters. So
A PG version, basically.
PG version, yeah. So we went with Mom and Dad and my sister Laura and I went to see the PG-13 version of Saturday Night Fever. Mom was pissed. That's all the adult themes, and of course, I joke about Catholic school. My parents weren't they were strict, but not that strict. But you're like an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old or whatever. Freaking how old we were. When was Saturday Night Fever? 78 or 80 or
77.
So 77. Okay, so 77. So I'm 11 and my sister's 9, going to see that, and God, because I think there was an abortion talk in there, or pregnancy talk.
No, the PG version is really butchered from my memory.
Oh, it's butchered, but I mean, they still have a
Yeah.
lot of the adult subject matter in there, so they're cutting out like the most graphical elements, but you've still got a lot
Because
of
they
that
cut out the
story
gang
in there.
rape scene too, I think, in that version, don't they?
Yeah, they had to cut that out. I'm trying to remember now. It's been so long, but there were enough of the adult elements in it that my mom was pretty pissed. Covering my sister's eyes a couple of times, and because
Ostensibly,
like
they were the TV versions, basically, in theaters.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but for an 8-year-old girl to see that,
yeah. I mean,
kind of like, well, this is my mom thought that she could see Pulp Fiction would be John Travolta dancing again, the dancing part. So
you just got her back. That's all.
yeah.
So did she? Did the parents end up watching it with you or not?
We stay, but like at one point she's like we might have to leave. So just especially more like my sister, I think too. And hail to Oliver Belamonte. But that was another fun mom story. I got another one tonight too, I'll tell. But I find it funny that Bud is the only one in the entire film that took down the bride.
True.
Yeah.
But she didn't stay down.
She didn't stay down yet. He didn't. She was mostly dead, not all dead. So
He made the age-old mistake of not putting her down before putting her down underground.
Yeah. What if Warren Beatty or Kevin Costner got the role of Bill? I think the looks wouldn't work for that. I just don't think it would work. I can't.
Carradine works so perfectly.
Yeah, I mean Costner, I could see. Warren Beatty is just too good looking. Maybe. And he doesn't. I just can't picture him.
Carradine
so
has
ingrained
enough
in the role.
edge. He needs somebody with an edge.
And
none of these guys do. No.
Costner, I don't think I could. I think if I had to pick if you gave me a choice, I could only pick one of the two. I would probably go with Costner. But I just don't think he's right for that role either, though. So
I think Costner's the only other one who's ever played a villain, really, too.
Yeah. So
Fame, that was another one. Yeah.
Fame, yep. So best part in
But
Kill
yeah,
Bill
it's because
1 was
PG-13 didn't exist until '84. So back then, PG was pretty broad still.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was a big
broader,
stink
yeah.
about Jaws, being only PG and it should have been probably rated R. I mean, by today's standards, it's tame as shit. But I mean,
It's
back
very
then
tame,
it was
but-
intense as hell. Like I was just recently listening
blood,
to the audiobook of William Friedkin where he's going through his filmography and he was talking about how, the MPA at the time, they were really kind of sweet to him with The Exorcist. And the head of the MPA basically came out with the guy who created the rules at that point because it was still so early in the days of the MPA. And for those who don't know, like they went into the code era and movies were very saccharine. So in that late 60s when they tore that down and they started doing the rating system, you started getting movies that were very different. Like you wouldn't have been able to do The Exorcist,
Midnight Cowboy,
and Easy
Last
Rider.
Tango in Paris.
Last Tango
Easy
in
Rider.
Paris was a little bit later, but still, like you were getting films you never would have been able to get before. And
Behind the Green Door. Oh no, wrong film, wrong genre.
But yeah, that's a ripoff of The Exorcist. But like the Jack Valenti and this other guy, this psychiatrist guy who helped come up with the rating system, flat out told him, he's like, we saw the movie and we're going to get behind you on this and we're going to give it an R, but just be aware we're all going to get some heat for this.
Yeah.
But we think it's important that this movie gets out there. So that's one of the few times they're actually nice to somebody on that part.
And it's not
But other
overt
times, yeah.
gore, and it's not overt gore. I think too. Sex and violence, sex and
No.
gore versus something
To
that's
be honest, in
scary.
The
and
Exorcist, that fucking crucifix scene should have got it an NC-17. Let's be fucking real.
Yeah, well, I can't watch that movie again. And just thinking about it scares the shit out of me. But yeah, And this is obviously the best part is when Uma fights the bride fights Oshiren's Gogo Yubari, who's going to be in Fortnite, wears a high school dress.
Thing.
Yep, the actress as a playable character was from the Japanese film Battle Royale, which is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen the original Battle Royale, check that out. Puts the Hunger Games to shame. Yep, really good stuff. But this is he's got such a great value movie. Jackie Brown, another great movie. Kill Bill, I guess he counts this as one movie, right?
Technically, yes. And that's where I think he'll get away with doing Kill Bill 3 as either an animated or whatever, and he'll just say, oh, it's still technically part of the same story.
And Death Proof, this was the 3 movies where he
My
did,
least favorite of his is 2 movies, with him and Robert Rodriguez, where they did
they did that.
Yeah.
And Inglourious Bastards. Another great film, yep. And Christopher Waltz is just so phenomenal. He's great in Frankenstein.
You get to take off that uniform. That don't sit right with me.
Yeah.
Fucking Brad Pitt, that's probably his greatest performance of all time right there.
It's just such a great movie, yeah.
But then Django, Django's growing
Django's
on
great.
me. It's growing on me.
It's not your favorite, but we just watched it again for Toxic Tuesday.
It wasn't at the time, and it took maybe 2 or 3 viewings, because here's my issue with it, is like, it's very on the nose. It's probably one of the most... now, if that movie would have came out not even 10 years later, 5, 6 years later, it would have been considered woke. Let's be fucking real.
You're right.
It would have definitely been considered woke. But the only other issue I have with it is it's a half hour too long, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, because after seeing it in subsequent viewings, I'm growing. It's growing on me. But like I always felt like the climax happens and then he goes back and has another climax. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. It's a little different as I get going. I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more. But at first, it was one of my least favorite. But now it's
least favorite,
it's
growing on you. And DiCaprio has that great scene where, of course, he cuts his hand during the scene and keeps going.
I think it has
just
the N-word in it more than any other movie in history, but
So, but that's where you're illuminating racism by showing racism, I think,
right?
Too, which is, and that movie's just a hard-hitting movie. I could see where it's not for everyone, but none of these movies are bad movies, right? Hateful Eight.
No.
Yeah, this is where the guitar gets destroyed for real. The Martin guitar, the antique guitar that Martin guitar had lent them, and there's a controversy over whether or not, allegedly Quentin knew that it was the real guitar, or whether or not Kurt Russell knew it was the real guitar. Now the story is they didn't know it, and Kurt Russell,
I'm pretty
does
sure
a John
Kurt
Belushi.
didn't know.
Probably didn't know, and he does a John Belushi in aka Animal House and smashes the guitar, and you can see the actress's reaction. Jennifer Lee, right, in that scene where
Jennifer Jason Lee,
she's like, because she knew allegedly she knew
saying,
it was the real guitar.
Whoa, and she actually looks over at the left of the camera, which is I think where Tarantino was, but
because she allegedly knew that it was the real guitar, antique
otherwise,
guitar.
why would she even say that? Like, it makes no sense.
And
Martin should be laughing, if anything, but
And Martin's like, that's the last time we lend out a guitar. And truthfully, it's like, just make an effing replica. Who's gonna, some guitar nerds?
They did have one,
right?
That was the mistake, I guess. That's where the big debate was. Who knew it was or wasn't the real one, and all that kind of shit. And that's where I said it doesn't really fit the scene if you watch the movie, because she shouldn't be reacting that way to it. If anything, she should be happy that she got Kurt Russell's goat, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, The Hateful Eight, it's a unique film, and I think it gets a lot of hate, not just because it's called The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
But I think it's Tarantino's remake. People don't realize that it's basically Reservoir Dogs meets The Thing.
Yeah, that's a good one. I never thought of it that way. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's the similar plot threads there.
Well, it's ironic because it's
the thieves. I was gonna say you don't know who's working against each other there, and who's the reveals that I won't spoil if you haven't seen it, but there's some great twists in the movie, so that are really well done. So
and it's funny because Ennio Morricone does the score for it, and he was really old and ill at the time. So he did like 3 themes, I think, for the movie, or 2 or whatever it was. And then the rest of the music was made up of unused cues from The Thing.
Oh,
And it was
wow.
yeah, because he's like, here, Quentin, use these, it'll fit. He's like,
It'll
what's
fit,
this?
right,
He goes,
yeah.
this is stuff I didn't use for The Thing. He's like, you're shitting me. He goes, this is basically my remake of The Thing in Reservoir Dogs.
That's an awesome story. Yeah. And of course, amazing actors again, too. You know, Samuel L. Jackson, you know, Kurt Russell, Walter Goggins, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, Bruce Sturm. How do you say Demian Bichir? I'm not sure I would say his name, but the actor. But there's all great performances all around in this in this movie. And yeah, it's not, you know, hey, I want something light to watch tonight. Maybe you're not gonna watch that.
No, and if you can see it, I think Netflix put it back on, but they have that extended cut. I can't watch it any other way now. Like,
Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen
Yeah.
the extended
Oh,
cut. I'm
it's
gonna have to
great.
check that out. Yep. And I'm always looking for good movies to watch with the kids, or like, you know, over the holidays, or well, maybe not that one, but like, you know, I don't.
I mean, it's probably one of Quentin's lesser as far as like the up until near the end where it turns into a bloody mess. But like,
Yeah. Do I want to watch Pulp Fiction with my adult kids? Maybe we could do that.
honestly,
now. Yeah.
your kids have seen a lot worse, I'm sure.
I don't know what kind of movie buffs they are. I gotta educate them some ways. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is quickly becoming like my favorite of his. Pulp Fiction will always be my favorite, probably.
Yeah, I think Pulp Fiction's. If I
But
had to
this
pick
one
anything,
is quickly I love it every time I see it more than I did the last time. I don't know why.
and of course the crazy thing about it too, it's almost like a remake of real life too. It's his version of what he wished had happened to the Manson killers, right? Because
It fits in that like revisionist history kind of thing
Yeah.
it is, but also it kind of tries to fit itself in a world that did exist at the same time. It's almost like it's an alternate universe kind of weird thing.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean, I love the world he built. It feels so real and like you can just reach out
Yeah.
and touch it and smell it and feel it. And it's just, and I love, you know, Cliff. I love, you know, Leo's character. I mean, really, the Manson stuff is almost ancillary. Like, it didn't even have to be there. It's one of those few times where I'm in a movie where I'm watching and it's like, just keep going. Just keep going. I don't want this to end. I just want to keep going. I want the next day. I want to see what happens. I want to see what,
Yeah.
you know, I would love for it to just be an ongoing, like, series of just this quirky 1960s set world. And I'm waiting still with bated breath to see the show. I know it's not going to be as good as the movie, but he supposedly shot or worked on shooting 6 episodes of Bounty Law for Netflix that haven't
to
surfaced
fit
yet.
into
Yeah.
to fit in with Brad Pitt's character, right? Yeah.
Or with Leo's character.
Leo's
yeah.
character, yeah. So yeah, just and what's you know, Sharon Tate. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I mean, I'm sure you've seen Sharon Tate movies, but everyone in the chat hasn't seen Sharon Tate act. I mean, what a stunning beauty Sharon Tate was, and unfortunately, you know, she was brutally murdered by the Manson
Right.
gang. And what was really creepy about that was Brian Wilson. Was Brian Wilson of the Beach? Was it Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys?
Yeah. Well, I think Dave lived there first. And
yeah.
they were there looking for Brian, I think was the reason they were there, or Dave, one of the two, and they just happened to be there.
Yeah.
That's
So what had happened
but
was,
yeah.
so Brian Wilson had picked up Charlie Manson hitchhiking, I believe, and he had written some music and was trying to get into the music business.
Him or his
kinda
brother
get-
did, one of the two, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, and got
But they
intertwined.
both got wrapped up with him, yeah.
Yeah, they both got wrapped up with him, but they realized how batshit crazy the guy was.
Dennis, not
And
David. I'm
we're-
sorry. Thank you.
Dennis, yeah, Dennis, the drummer, Dennis. Well, Dennis was the drummer, correct? And the real athlete of the group, and he was freaked out by what happened with you know, his relationship with Charlie, and he'd released one of Manson's songs. I think it's been buried now, but you know, no one should want to, you know, hear the evil bastard's music. But you know, he's trying to break into the movie business and befriended Dennis Wilson, and so this is kind of an alternate version. But yeah, they were what the theory is, they were going. Was it Squeaky Fromme? No, she was the one that tried to assassinate Ford. Two of them, you know, the Manson. It wasn't Charles Manson had ordered the murders but wasn't on site, and allegedly the theories they were going to take out Dennis Wilson, and this was in the little cabin or small house that had lived in, but he was so scared of Manson that he had actually gotten out of Dodge. I'm paraphrasing or trying,
No, but this is my understanding of the situation too. Yeah.
Too, right? Yeah. So, and Sharon Tate was married to Roman Polanski, and famous, all-time great director. Of course, he's got his own. I've got my issues with Roman Polanski, and she was brutally murdered. She was she like 8 months pregnant, and they did some horrible, vicious things. I don't even want to say what you might know, but people in the chat might know. But just the worst of the worst, killing a pregnant woman, and then how they desecrated her after. And Sharon Tate was just such a gorgeous. Doesn't matter how pretty you are, but yes, she would have been a huge Hollywood star. She already was breaking through, but murdered at such a young age.
And as pretty as Margot Robbie is, I didn't think she was even the best choice, because I don't think she really looks all that much like her. But
yeah, so this is Sharon Tate, and
because that's the oddball thing about the movie is they use all the footage from the actual film, but yeah.
And there's Roman Polanski too, talking about an oddball guy getting a gorgeous
see what I mean?
woman. There's Roman Polanski. Yep, not the I guess, he's not a horrible looking guy, but he's not Brad Pitt, right? So, but
yeah. See, I don't see the resemblance as much as some people did, but
yeah, they're both pretty ladies,
blondes,
I guess. Yeah. So I guess you could. I'll allow it.
Oh yeah, it was fine. It works for the
film. It's fine. Yeah. But just such a tragic
story. But yeah,
and it captured the nation too. I mean, this was. I mean, it was kill the pigs, and this murder was like a Son of Sam level. Because it's dealing with Hollywood. Hollywood actress, director, and tabloids, and it was just everywhere, and people were horrified by what had happened. So you can never excuse what Polanski did after, where he was accused of, or he actually did with an underage. Well, I'll just watch my language here. You all know what Polanski was convicted of, but and he fled the country. But I mean, I can imagine how screwed up he was, but it doesn't excuse what he did. But so anyway, so Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is kind of reimagining it, where you get Brad Pitt and Leo, they kick ass, and they're able to like beat up the Manson killers and save Sharon Tate.
Well, they're kind of an amalgam of a lot of different movie star / stuntman duos.
Yeah.
In Hollywood. Especially, I guess, Burt Reynolds and Hal Needham, and a little bit of Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very believable in these roles. I mean, they do a great job in there. Yep. People weren't happy. Well, because the Bruce Lee controversy. Steve Mitchum's on here, but no one wants Bruce Lee to lose in a fight, right?
And that's the thing is Tarantino argued he didn't lose, and I know he even said his daughter kind of misinterpreted.
His daughter got into his daughter got into it too. Yep.
It's a tie. And it's loosely based on supposedly something that actually happened. And it's pretty well known that Bruce Lee was a bit of a braggadocio, and he would get a little too rough with some of the American stunt guys. And supposedly one day, one of these guys took him to task for it, and I guess he got him on the ground a few times. Is the origin of this story, and it was kind of put Bruce in his place a little bit. But that's not to say that Bruce was a weak man in any way, shape, or form, or got his ass kicked in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, there's stories I've heard about that kind of thing before.
That's the controversy.
I've heard versions of them anyway, that over the years that I believe it. I don't think it was as extravagant as it was in the movie. I mean, the movie is literally like a scene out of a Bruce Lee type movie, right? I mean,
yeah. Yeah, so it's it's something too where like you idolize Bruce Lee, he almost becomes like a cult figure or a semi demigod in some ways, And you talk about, and he was, absolutely legendary, and they talk about his fights in Hong Kong, and what's real, what's myth, what do you separate, and I just know a lot of Bruce Lee fans weren't happy with that because it'd be like Luke just throwing the lightsaber over his shoulder and just giving up the fight. Oh shit, they did that in Star Wars. I guess maybe that's not a good example. Yeah, but that's why we hated those sequels, and that's why I know some Bruce fans weren't happy.
In
But
fact,
I could see
I've
too
heard
where
I've heard one version of the story where, and this was even way before this movie came out. I heard one version of the story I heard was that the reason he hurt his back was when he got in a fight with one of these guys. And that was how he hurt his back.
which in the movie they translated to a broken back, but that wasn't. He never broke his
and that's
back,
the
but he
thing
had
is,
hurt his
like,
back.
I heard one version of the story for years was that's how he got his back fucked up, is he got into a fight with one of the stunt guys and got his, not butt kicked, but he got hurt. And then he came up with this elaborate story that he got in some big fight in this tournament thing. Right. So like, that's the thing, is you never knew what to believe with Bruce. And I've done some research of my own. I don't know what to believe half the time, what not to believe. Cause his whole image was he was kind of like the Andy Kaufman of Kung Fu style. You know what I mean? Like he would make you believe all sorts of weird shit. Like,
well, there was a lot of controversy about his styles, and I'm not an expert in any way, shape,
and he
or
lied
form.
about his past a lot too, for various reasons too, right? Like, I mean, he came up in the industry over in China, but like he would lie about his past a lot of the times too, because he actually was born in San Francisco, so like he was actually an American citizen, believe it or not. Like, there's a lot of stuff most people don't know about Bruce Lee that's kind of weird. It's like once you start digging into it, you're like, huh. Like,
yeah.
he kind of created this image of himself, because before that, when he was acting in China, he was known as this kid actor, and he was good at dancing and choreographed dancing, and he just translated that to Kung Fu. Well, then he got really into the fighting style, and he created his own style. Don't get me wrong, but like it really just kind of started as he wanted to recreate his image from this child actor slash dancer, whatever, entertainer, to an action star. So he was like, I'm going to make myself an action star, basically. That's the true story.
Arnold, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Basically, yeah.
But there's, nothing wrong with that. And of course, I've seen, videos of his fighting, his techniques. And yeah, it's just, then you watch his movies. He's clearly a step above.
Well, he paved the way for guys like Jackie Chan and all those guys. So yeah.
Yeah. But you could also have a bad day and a guy could tag you too, right? I mean, even Muhammad Ali got knocked down, so which was a shocker, and lost fights. You never thought he would lose either. So, yeah, but you just don't want to think that like a stunt guy that doesn't know martial arts is not going to be able to lay a finger on Bruce Lee. But the truth is, if a guy is a good fighter, boxer, a great athlete, maybe he's got a little bit of chance too, right? I mean, so you're not infallible too. So you could slip up, or the guy could have phenomenal reflexes too. So, but yeah, that was an interesting aside in that movie. I thought it got more attention than it warranted. But it's a fun movie because it's you got that feel good end. Where you wish this had happened too. Like whenever now we've got freaking cameras everywhere. The poor girl on the Charlotte light rail line, and you see her get stabbed. Or of course they covered it up. They don't show the actual stabbing, thank God. But you're like, why wasn't Batman on that train to help her? Why wasn't someone there to help her? You see innocent people get attacked, and unfortunately we see this all too often with all these cameras that we have now everywhere. Before, years ago, you wouldn't see that horrible footage or see that happen, or maybe those crimes would have gone, unsolved. But, you're like, oh, God, this is so horrible. So that's why it's kind of got this superhero feel for me at the end of the movie where, we kicked ass and we took care of these we got these
kind of
bastards.
Like Inglourious Bastards, too,
yeah. Yeah, like that kind of feel, or, say like a Clint Eastwood movie, where, he gets the bad guys get theirs in the end. Yep. So,
well, Jeremiah asked what Bruce Lee's first films were. I had to look it up because I knew it was like when he was a kid. It was called The Kid, which I have a clip of right here.
okay.
This is his first leading role, but I guess he was in 2 roles before this, looking it up, as a baby. Yeah. But here's Bruce Lee as a little kid, yeah.
Oh, that audio's hot.
Let me turn it down, hang on.
Yeah, that's all right. So he's a young kid in this movie, or he's
Yeah. Yeah, it's from 1950.
Wow.
There he is.
That's Bruce Lee, or is that Short Round?
No, that's Bruce Lee.
I'm joking. I said that's short. It looks just
I
like
know,
Short
right?
Round with the
But
hat.
yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble. Not that I think
Yeah,
you would, but
Yeah, it's
no,
so,
yeah.
I'm
So
sure
a lot of
that-
people don't realize that like they
Wow.
they have this mythological idea.
I never
of
knew
what
that.
Bruce Lee really is. Like, yeah, no, he's self-made like action star later in life. He just wanted to reinvent himself basically. So he kind of made a lot of the myth surrounding himself more than anything. Yeah.
Smart. And he had a charisma and a skill, and yeah.
Oh yeah,
undeniable,
yeah.
right?
The charisma is the number one. Like, that's the thing Bruce had more than anything was the
Yeah.
charisma.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, yeah. So, and Don, someone's asking, why would I want Disney to be saved? Yep, I guess is talking about Disney a little bit. Yeah, we'll get into the Netflix and Disney and Warner Brothers in a second. Yep, and we had someone who just subbed too. We had Ryan Armstrong for sub. So thank you, Ryan. Much appreciated. Glad to have you on the gang here. Let's see. Better acting than many today's so-called Hollywood actors. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, this is a solid flick. I really enjoyed this movie, and
I'm looking forward to the spin-off or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess this is the same. Isn't there a scene in the movie where Sharon Tate goes to see one of her movies or something? Or
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm saying
yeah,
in
yeah.
the movie they just use footage from the movie itself. They don't even
Yeah,
have her,
yeah. Yeah. And that's such creepy scenes there too with the Manson gang and the scene where he's going to the ranch there, the Manson ranch, and it's so much tension there, and it fits too, right? I mean, it's so well developed.
That's a great scene, yeah.
That's a great freaking scene. I mean, what's going on in that house, and holy shit, Batman! It's crazy, 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 crazy. So
yeah, I know you. You're God, what's your name? It's some stupid fucking name. Come on, Tex. That's it, Tex.
Tex, yeah. And of course, this is launched to 1,001 memes with this DiCaprio.
Right there, now I want to go watch this fucking movie.
All right, see you later. No, don't leave yet. Yep.
I'll be 3 hours later. I'll be back.
He'll be back. Yep, yep. And here's the scene with Bruce Lee. Yep. Oh, why don't we go over this and we'll talk some Netflix, and then we'll talk some of my trip to New York City today.
Well, the point I was getting at is it almost kind of shows that Bruce is a bigger fan of Bruce Lee than some of the people that claim to be one, because a lot of people hold on to that mythological version of him. Quentin clearly knew more about Bruce than a lot of folks, because the reason he's in the movie is he actually taught, like, they show a little bit of it in the movie, but there was more of it than what was shown. Like, he actually taught a lot of movie stars martial arts.
Yeah, famously, yeah. So
and Sharon Tate was one of them.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
Like, that was a whole thing, and so was Steve McQueen and quite a few other people. So like that was his connection to all these people.
Yep. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, famously, that's why he's in the movie with them. Was trained with them, trainer to the start. Picture that too. Everyone was kung fu fighting back then. It was kung fu, karate was a huge freaking thing, taking the nation by storm. So, like, today when you
brought it to the mainstream,
yeah. But we're today where you have like people come in your house teaching you Pilates or
well, that's kind of how he got started.
Yoga.
Yeah.
I said yogurt. I always call yoga, because
he kind of came to the U.S. after he had his whole Chinese thing going on, and then he kind of tried to get inroads and he couldn't. He got like the Green Arrow, or not Green Arrow, Green Hornet and stuff like that.
Green Hornet, yeah.
And then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to make some movies. And he basically created the modern Kung Fu movie. Like,
yeah. Hey, Putin's cat.
And all he did was take what Clint Eastwood was doing in the Western and just translate it into, him Kung Fu.
Yeah. Putin, you're Tom had actually just said that. And played, if you rewind a few later.
Yep.
Played Bruce's first.
Most people don't know
film.
that he was born in San Francisco.
Yeah,
yep.
Born in San Francisco. So yep. Putin's
so
cat
all that shit in the movies they always put in there about him, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
In fact, as much as I love Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, it's complete bullshit. In fact, I watched it. It took me years to realize it. It was probably like one of the last of like 3 or 4 viewings of the film. It finally dawned on me. This was like 5-10 years ago. I'm like, oh, this is not a biopic. This is just a Bruce Lee movie.
Yep.
If you watch the movie, it's a Bruce Lee movie. It's not supposed to be a biopic of his life. And then you watch the director talk about it, and he kind of says that. He's like, yeah, I didn't mean for it to be like this straightforward biopic. It's basically like the type of movie Bruce Lee would have made of his life story. And I'm like, oh, now it makes fucking sense. Like, now it makes complete sense. This is a movie within a movie kind of thing.
So here's the he's talking about promoting the novelization of the 2019 film on Joe Rogan. Tarantino said, "I can understand his daughter having a problem with it. It's her fucking dad. All right, I get that. Everyone else go suck a dick." Yep. In the film, the fight scene on the set between the Green Hornet, between Lee and Bill Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt, the two men spar. Tarantino said the film makes it obvious that Cliff tricked him and won the fight, adding the scene is further explained in his new book. He gives Bruce no resistance whatsoever, and Bruce knocks Cliff on his ass, Tarantino said. There are 4 different ways Bruce could have come at him the second time, and Cliff would have had little defense. But most of the time, if a guy has a particular move and it looks like the other dude is a big mouth who can't defend himself, they do the first move again a second time. But now Cliff knows what it is. He prepares for it and throws Bruce's ass into the car. He just tricked him. Bruce realizes he got tricked. Tarantino says the stuntman hated Lee on the set of The Green Hornet, citing Matthew Polly's book about Lee for reference. Bruce had nothing but disrespect for stuntmen, Tarantino said. He was always hitting them with his feet. He was always tagging. It's called tagging when you hit a stuntman for real. And he was always tagging them with his feet. He was always tagging them with his fist. It got to be a point where I refused to work with him. He had nothing but disrespect for American stuntmen. Shannon Lee responded to Tarantino's comments about her father back in 2019 when the director was doing the press for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He could shut up about it, Lee told Variety when asked about how the director could rectify the controversy. That'd be really nice. Or he could apologize. He could just say, I don't really know what Bruce Lee was like. I just wrote it for my movie, but that shouldn't be taken to as how he really was.
That's kind of what he said in a way, even though he's saying it is rooted in... I mean, it's pretty clear the movie's not meant to be biographical.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about a fake actor.
Yeah. It messes with history, right? Yeah. So, it's revisionist history. Yep.
Well, and Putin, kind of before you came in, and part of the reason I was bringing it up was there is more stuff in the book, and there's a lot more stuff that got left on the cutting room floor. And they do show a little bit of it in the movie where he's like showing, Sharon how to, showing Sharon some martial arts and stuff like that. But like he was meant to have a little bit more of a story, because that's what I was saying. His connection is he knows all these actors, right? Because he would train them and stuff like that. So, and that's reality, and that's what my whole point is. And I'd heard this story years and years before too this movie ever came out. Now, is it true or not? I don't know. But at the end of the day, you get a guy like Bruce, who's being a bit of a cocky little asshole, and you got guys like Cliff Booth's size, where he's a 6 foot something big dude. It don't matter who you are, right? Like, you can be Bruce Lee. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to take him down. But I agree with Tarantino's assessment. He was tricked, right? And at the end of the day, it kind of becomes a tie, basically. But yeah,
he's not trying to, discredit Bruce Lee, but I can see where Bruce fans would not like it, right? I mean, So
it's kind of the same as with George Lucas. You can't keep holding him to this mythological standard either. The dude was a
Yeah,
guy.
And it's a, it's a totally fictional movie. So
Exactly. That was my initial point
and
too.
Putin is saying, and Tate was a real actress who was tragically,
Yeah, and she isn't in this
murdered.
movie, right? So it is revisionist history. It's,
Yeah. And hail to Scotty. Great to see you here, Scotty.
Is it much different than something like Deadwood that starts and rooted in history and then goes completely in its own direction?
Yeah. I mean, I just read a book written by the alleged killer Billy the Kid, contemporary novel. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was free on. I had my credits for Kindle. If you always delay your Amazon shipments, you get that $3 credit. You do that 3 or 4 times, you can buy a Kindle book for free. And God, it's just amazing to read about the accounts of Billy the Kid. But is it true? Some people are saying that Billy the Kid lived,
That's another
died
one
in
I've
the 20s,
quite a bit, yeah.
Right? And I read that novel by oh God, who was the guy that killed Billy the Kid? I read the damn book over the summer on the beach. I'm looking at
it was most likely the person. It was Pat Garrett who takes credit for it.
Garrett. Yeah, Garrett's book. Yeah, so it's Garrett's account of killing Billy and the stories that they tell and what Billy the Kid did and the Lincoln County War, and it's just freaking and amazing. And it's very obviously tell the language of the time, and he's got his version of it. He's saying this is the definitive version. I was friends with the kid, but even then everything is just so unknown or so potentially undocumented.
Well, what do you think happened?
I think he really did kill him. I don't think he lived, but there's some people that say that I don't know if they could do the DNA test on the guy that came forward. It was in the 50s or
knowing what I know about Pat Garrett now, and especially about how he died and everything, I think Pat shot the wrong guy.
You think he shot? So you think he could have lived?
I think he shot the other guy, the guy's kid. Now, for those who don't know, the story is Billy was on the run, and Billy did a lot of it to himself. He only killed probably about half the people that he claimed he killed, right? Like that's the other problem, because he really amped up his whole image. Yeah,
and in the Garrett book, he talks about where he really went off the rails and killed like 4 guys who were prisoners at one point, and then he said this is like a step too far. Like a lot of the other killings
that version of the story. He did kill that one cop, but
even Garrett is saying a lot of the killings were justified or part of that war or cattle conflicts. So
I don't count any of the stuff during that, but even with those numbers, I think the number is like historically, I think they say it's in the 30s or whatever, but I think in reality he killed maybe about 10 to 12 people. And the thing is, his first few murders and the reason he was on the run was a sad reason. He didn't have to run. Like he was going to get off because initially he started running because of a robbery. Yeah. And he was going to get off, but they were just trying to scare him, and he just kind of set himself down this path. But anyway, so because he was only 20, how old was he when he got supposedly died? 22 or was it 20?
Very young, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but anyhow.
21, yeah, 21.
21. I was going to say 21 or 22. Yeah, I was trying to remember.
And then the governor offered him a pardon, and that's when he escaped from prison, and then he reneged on the pardon.
All the stuff that happens in Young Guns and Young Guns 2 is actually pretty accurate. The only thing they changed in Young Guns that is not accurate is all the other characters around him so much. Because Doc in reality was a little older, and some of the other guys were a lot older. But a lot of it is true. And then what happened, though, is he was hiding out at this Mexican farmer's house because he was supposedly sweet on his daughter or something like that. And of course, if everybody knows, Billy was a ladies' man. And Pat shot somebody in the dark, and it turned out to be this guy's kid, right? And basically, the version that I believe happened is Pat covered it up, let Billy go, and Billy took off with the guy's daughter down in Mexico and never came back.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, saying he got to Mexico
and Pat just sat there and ran with "I killed Billy the Kid" when it was this other guy's kid. And he probably paid the Mexican farmer off a bit to try to keep him shut up. So I don't know. It could be, could not be. Could have been Billy. Either
But
way,
here's
Pat Garrett killed him, and if he did, and that's some low life shit. And I could believe that too, considering what I heard about Pat Garrett. Is you go down the road with his story too.
so this book is considered the de facto book on the kid, or in terms of taking a lot of what became legend. So that you can get this on Amazon for pretty darn cheap. It's a short read. It's not that long, but it's just a fascinating tale.
Putin's asking about the old guy portrayed in part 2. My understanding is that he was debunked. He did not match DNA.
Yeah. So that was that was the guy that. It was interesting though. But there were some people that thought maybe it could have been true, but some people still believe it. Yeah. So Billy the kid.
I don't think he got killed because I think Pat Garrett was a fuck up. If you read into Pat Garrett a lot more, he was a he's a bit of a.
But the book it's just like a pamphlet, small. Yeah, it's so did Billy the kid? But we did this for Toxic Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it was a great rabbit hole to go down. I'm trying to see what the guy's name was. Now today we've got DNA tests, but but AI is saying that he didn't survive. Yep. Part of enduring myth. Yeah, the bushy Bill Roberts. That was it. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's we all like to believe that he lived, right? Elvis is alive with Richard Nixon.
I mean,
somewhere.
at the same time, I just think Pat Garrett wasn't efficient enough to kill him.
Yep. Bushy Bill. Yeah.
The story just doesn't match up with Billy to be like caught off guard like that.
Yeah.
Because never has he been, because he was a very clever little shit. And that was what kept him alive as long as it did. And for him to just stumble into the room with Pat there seems very
He escaped so
Pat.
many times.
Exactly.
Escaped so many times. It was just amazing. Yep. just awesome. Yep. So so here's this
is supposedly a picture of him.
Billy the kid, playing croquet. Yep. And
because they're even bringing into question that so-called famous picture of him now too. I've heard.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some. Like I was reading into something with that. If it was possibly even him, there. Because that's the thing. There was very little. Like the records kept in a lot of these shit. You can't always trust.
Yeah. How do you know? Right. Yeah. But they have a museum in Texas here now, and he was.
Because you got to remember how many people be like, "Here, I got a picture of Billy the fucking kid. You want to buy it?"
Right. And it's not that long ago, too, right? In the 50s, 1880, you could still have some people alive from back then and were kids, right? So, but that's, he fired a petition, and it's just an interesting rabbit hole to go down, and a lot of people want to believe that he did survive, right? So
either way, that's where his story ends, right? I mean,
yeah.
There's not much else you can say to that.
Yeah, but it's just a fascinating tale.
I mean, I'd like to believe he moved down to Mexico, had a bunch of kids, but.
Yep. So and a record keeping today is
yes, we're starting to learn more.
Yeah. So, but it's just fun to read it. Yeah, fun to read it. Yeah. So why don't we switch gears to the big entertainment news? To the Netflix, Warner Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of Netflix.
So I had my I put my overlay on again, so I have this quick. I put this together, but that's all, folks. Yeah, Netflix, Warner Brothers. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting year or so before this all gets sorted out, because Trump's not as, like, I see a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Trump's still saying it's going to be a big deal. I'm like, yeah, but he's not as hardcore as he was a little bit ago, you guys. He says it could be a problem, but to me, that's code for, I'm going to need a bigger check. You're going to have to add a few more zeros to that check there, Teddy.
Or give me another Peace Prize.
I want some free Amazon shipping.
Right? Well, I have a problem with this, and part of it is...
I think we all do.
I haven't heard your take on it yet, but that doesn't surprise me. But we're losing a major studio, so competition is good, right? Capitalism is good. Unfettered fettered capitalism, maybe not so much, but anyone who we don't want to see monopolies, right? At first, I was Brian's brothers headed off, but thank you, Brian.
Is it a monopoly though? See, that's my big question here.
It's not a pure monopoly, but it's reducing competition overall. So
it is technically, but there's a lot of argument. This is a very muddy, swampy, and this is where I think Trump is starting to back off a little bit, because I think he and other people are starting to realize that this is not going to be an apples to apples thing when it comes to what people think it is.
Because Netflix technically is not a movie studio, right?
Exactly. You're going right where I was headed, my friend. Because as Script Doctor and I have been kind of discussing the last few days, as Ron and some other people like we discussed earlier on Valiant Show, this is not as cut and dry as when Fox was bought by Disney. This is a bit different. This is more akin to when AT&T bought Fox. Or bought Warner Brothers, sorry. Yeah. So it's much more like that. So...
Or in the past, we had AOL bought Time Warner eons ago.
I mean, we don't know what's all going to be spun off yet. We don't know what all is going to happen yet, because I've been hearing and seeing a lot of things and reading a lot of things that I'm not 100% what's coming from actual Warner Brothers or Netflix themselves, or what's coming from inside people. And the whole thing that's going around is that the two teams are not supposed to be talking to each other right now. So a lot of information that's coming out is probably a lot of fugazi. We got to keep that in mind too. But it's my understanding is that they are going to do the split still, especially Discovery is going to get spun off. So Discovery's not coming with this.
Yeah, Discovery would totally be. And what's in Discovery? What's in Discovery? That's
like the
nature
court
stuff,
TV or whatever the hell they call it now, and all that kind
reality
of stuff.
TV. Yeah, but they're saying Discovery's film studio, but here in the article, but
I think they probably do have one, but
but it's more of the realities,
the cable TV channels,
cable TV stuff, So that would come.
That would leave, and then I wouldn't be surprised if what it takes, and this is just my speculation because I don't know how all the rules work, I don't know how everything works, but basically, I have a feeling that the only thing that's going to become a problem is going to be HBO Max, and the easiest way to deal with that, if it even is a problem, is they'll just spin off HBO and let HBO Max continue. It just won't be part of Warner Brothers anymore.
That's it. But so you think could they do that with a merger and say, hey, the A, B, and C are okay, but D isn't?
Technically, yes.
And good night, Donnie. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us, and have a great Power Ranger week. Awesome to have you here, Donnie.
And again, I'm speculating on a lot of this because I don't know. But, I mean, going off of just past things and where it's going to go forward, who knows? But, look, Netflix is not the same as a movie studio, so it's going to be really difficult to argue, at least in my opinion, and this is coming from somebody who does not want this to fucking happen, so keep that in mind. I think this is the worst thing to ever happen. I'll get into that part later. But, because Script and I were going back and forth on this, going, well, we're stretching to try and find a good reason that either vertically or horizontally, this will interfere with one of the other companies, operations, when at the end of the day, they're even kind of signifying that Warner Brothers will continue to run as Warner Brothers runs. It just will be a Netflix company now, if that makes sense. So it sounds to me.
Would it?
Well, no, what it's, again, and you're not wrong. I mean, that's a good question, because it sounds to me like they have to continue to do things until 2029 to honor the theatrical
releases and everything.
They have contracts with, right?
Yeah.
So that at least we know that the studio is going to have to release movies in theaters up through 2029. So that's a thing. And then I'm also hearing or saw or read that James Gunn's been renewed or going to get renewed until 2027. So that's kind of already in place. they're not going to want to get rid of this team. So keep this in mind, guys. Despite all the doom and gloom from everybody, the only reason Warner Brothers, this all happened in the first place, is because David Ellison decided to be Veruca Salt.
And who was that for?
From Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, the girl. Yeah.
I want it now, Daddy.
I want it now.
Yes, because Daddy just bought him a fucking movie studio, and he's like, I want another one, Daddy. I want the best one, Daddy. And so he's going after the best one now. And to me, I'm sitting going, you're the one that started this whole fucking thing, and now you're crying foul. Tough shit. Somebody came up to the table with a bigger check. I don't want any of y'all to buy it. None of y'all. Right. This should stay. There's no reason that Warner Brothers should be up for sale right now. Zaslav was not even ready to sell it yet. But he's like, all right, let's keep bringing in offers. And like I've been saying all week, and until somebody comes in with an 80 billion plus offer, it's not going to sell. Because guess what? AT&T paid $85 billion for it.
Right.
But that's another reason I think that Netflix is going to be able to argue this, is that the value is going down. Studios are dying. Theaters are dying.
Thanks to streaming.
It may be, but guess what? The same thing happened with automobiles and the horse and buggy. They're going to probably make that fucking argument. It's going
but it's just it's the next wave. Yeah, it's the next wave.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you going to stand in the way of progress here? Like, again, they're going to make, and the government should and better make the best arguments they can in reasoning for not letting this go through. But I have a hard time seeing it not go through at this point. Especially now that Trump's starting to back off a little bit, because to me, at the start of this weekend, it looked like maybe a 10 to 25% chance this thing was going to go through. Now it's starting to look more like 50, maybe a little more.
I mean, there's going to be some big guns coming out to fight this. And
CNN's supposed to be getting spun off. I think it says here, TNT and a bunch of the other stuff. Because look, Netflix don't give a fuck about TV. They don't give two shits. They just want the catalog.
Yep, they want the catalog. Yep,
they want the IPs. They want the catalog. They want the movies. They want, here's my hope, at least. This is the other side of this, because this is what's going to happen. Is my hope is that they will get a taste of this theatrical injection, because I think they're already starting to get a little taste of it from K-pop Demon Hunters and some other things. Because remember, going into this whole deal, they were like, we are not interested in Warner Brothers.
Right.
And next thing you know, they're like, well, I guess you're not that interested, but you put in the biggest bid. Yeah. But they got the money to kind of throw around. Not exactly, but they do. You know what I mean? They don't have the liquidity, but they have what they're, you know what I mean? You're not wrong. And that's going to be another thing they're going to argue, right? Is that they had to take out a loan to get this fucking deal made. So as big as Netflix is, I think they're going to make a lot of arguments that they're not as big as people think they are. And they're not in the same business. Right. So even making the comparison of the horse and buggy to the car might not work in their favor, because they're going to probably try and make the argument that we make pizzas, they make toasters. It
is a different business. But I guess in the end of it, do they let them run independently? Like Disney, you could argue, has independent studios within the Disney framework, but how independent are they from each other, right? So,
my understanding is that Fox is still technically in quotations running independently, but what do they got?
Yeah. And they've got overlords, right? So you've got to answer to the overlords. Yeah. So, it's just, I just don't like it. A sport, and then we can get into the, the political correctness of Netflix too, the memes going around, of, done by Netflix, and with all the race swaps. And Stranger Things did have some troubling aspects to it, I have to say. I do love Stranger Things, and I don't know, troubling, but just too much of the throwing the message in there a couple times when it didn't need it, where, you can put it in there, but kind of minimize, make it more organic to the story. There's like a 5-minute sequence with Eleven and the I was going to say the dorky kid, but all the kids are dorky with oh God, what's the kid's name on Stranger Things that
don't ask me anymore.
I know you don't watch it, but anywho, they there's like a really elongated scene with Will, Will Byers, yeah. So he's the plot point with Vecna, and about basically coming out, and all the D&D players. Yeah, we were all the the misfits, and the casticides and the nerds and the geeks, and so that part is right. But it was just too much of a scene. And today too, your radar is up to these things too. So like you said, if you'd made Django Unchained, 10 years ago, or later, you'd have said, oh, this is a woke movie. So some of it is the lens of today. But Netflix is really, the whole Cleopatra scandal. So that's another whole side issue to this. What would happen? Netflix would own Warner Brothers. They would own DC Comics. What happens to James Gunn and all those new, the new planned universe and series of movies? I assume Supergirl would get released, but that could end up being the last. That could be the end of James Gunn's tenure on Superman, right? And on the DC universe, which would kind of be ironic, I think. But it's there's a lot of questions up in the air, but they're not a movie studio, I guess. So, but the streaming.
No.
The streaming between the two of them, The other thing is too, they want the money, as everyone's saying in the chat. So they're not going to get rid of HBO Max and merge it in. It's not like you're buying a competitor and taking up their business. It's not the same thing as, like, I guess you could compare it to like a car company buying another car company, but keeping that mark going. Like, Chrysler is owned by Stellantis now, but they still make a couple of Chrysler vehicles, not many, and Jeep, right? So you don't want to lose that revenue. You wouldn't cancel HBO Max or whatever you call it these days. It's back to HBO Max, but you would never get rid of that stream. Is HBO Max? What's the most popular streaming service past Netflix? Is it
Netflix
HBO?
is technically number one. Then it's
right.
Then it's Amazon.
Amazon's actually number 2 in streaming.
Yeah,
because everyone's got it with Prime.
Well, and then Disney, and then HBO Max, and then a little ways behind that is like Paramount and Peacock.
Yeah. So, but they would never get rid of HBO Max. It would never make sense to like roll that in. I guess. Well, Disney is rolling Hulu into Disney Plus, I guess, in next year, or is Hulu going to stay as a brand, or what's going to happen with Hulu?
See, and that's another thing. Even though, I mean, technically, like, Disney was contractually obligated to do that, I have a feeling Netflix is going to use that as another argument too.
Okay.
Is that not only was Disney able to buy Fox, they were able to basically engulf Hulu into Disney Plus. Which, if they're not forced to have to get rid of HBO Max, that's what they'll want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they could, if they had to, they could get rid of HBO Max. Yep. Yeah, and Lenrod, we do have a Chrysler Pacifica minivan that the engine blew up. It was a 2018, so F Chrysler. We get a bill. We've diagnosed your vehicle. Press here for repair details. Your repair your vehicle will be $11,643.83. That was Heart Attack City, so we found a used engine and put it in. But there's no reason the 2018 engine should blow up. But that's my especially when you're up on all the oil changes and doing all the maintenance on the car. We've got the kid's car that was it's a Hyundai from 2012 that's got 225,000 miles on it, and we still have it as just a drive around town car. Wouldn't maybe trust it on a long trip, although maybe you could, but that sucker's still going. And I thought they make the Charger. I thought they brought back the Dodge Charger, Putin. Didn't they bring back the Dodge Charger? But
for a while there. I don't know if they're still making it, but
yeah, I think they went to go electric. There was a kerfuffle, but now that Trump got rid of all the CAFE standards, maybe they can bring back the American muscle. But yeah, that's sad how many few cars that Chrysler makes. Yep. Does HBO have shows anymore? What are the new HBO shows?
Absolutely, they still do a bunch of shows. Yeah.
What's popular on HBO now? And Paramount
Besides
seems
Game
to
of
be getting all
Thrones,
these.
Penguin was pretty popular.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I just watched Penguin. That was really good.
They still
Really
have some
good.
other stuff too. They just did the Peacemaker one
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Peacemaker.
and some other
Yep, yep.
stuff. I mean, they have other stuff that I don't pay attention to.
It
but
Welcome to
It
Derry.
is a new
Yep.
one. Yeah.
In Euphoria, but that's been a long time. Oh, and The Last of Us, right? Yeah, I'm forgetting. Yeah, because Game of Thrones was destination TV on Sunday night, right? Task, I guess, is a new series. But I don't think they're as popular as they were in terms of water cooler talk. Sopranos days and Game of Thrones. Last of Us, I don't really think took off that well. House of the Dragon, I think, has been doing pretty well. I've enjoyed that show, although the second season I thought was disappointing. But did you watch any of the House of the Dragon stuff, Tom? Or
No, I never really got into
You never
Game
got
of
to.
Thrones, but if people are enjoying it, that's cool. But as far as my understanding, I mean, the whole thing with Zaslav was he was one of the first people to say enough of this HBO Max exclusive bullshit. We're
Yep.
HBO, right?
We're about
they're
home
going to be
box
on
office.
both. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it started
Yeah.
with Penguin, I believe, was because that was meant to just be on HBO Max. And, yeah, but
Yeah,
anyway.
screw it. Yeah. And then actually Netflix had a lot of HBO content too, right? You could they were selling it. I don't know if they still were or still are, but a lot of the HBO content was coming to Netflix. Trying to different shows. Yep.
Well, back in the day, almost everybody did, but I mean, Zaslav was one of the first ones to go, yeah, we're going to license some of our shit out now too. And I know a lot of people misrepresented what they were doing, especially with the Looney Tunes stuff. Although, I mean, yeah, I think Cartoon Network or something like that did get shut down, and some other things they do still have animation that they do, but they have a new animation director, and that was partially what I was told too. Is a lot of this stuff that's going on in the animation side of things has less to do with Zaslav and more to do with this new guy who has different ideas, or this new team that has different ideas. And they're not stopping us from seeing those Looney Tunes movies. In fact, the Roadrunner movie is still going to come out next year. Yeah,
Right,
it's still
finally,
coming out next year. So it's just it got picked up by other people, and just as I was reporting at the time, they were getting lowball offers, and I said, if somebody comes in with an offer that's good enough, they will sell it.
Yeah,
And that's
It's done,
exactly
right?
what happened, right?
You're right on that one, Tom. Yep. Because it's in the can, right? Now, Batgirl is another.
See, that's a misinterpretation. A lot of people don't realize Batgirl was only
finish it, I thought.
70%. Yeah, it was only 70% done. See,
And then they pulled the plug. They weren't liking what they were saying.
Zaslav's fuck this. But they were
Yeah,
also going to make a complete change in the DC universe at that point, and they knew it.
Yeah, so we don't need this. It's the Roadrunner movie. It doesn't matter. Yep. Oh, and they canceled Warrior, gave up Westworld. Oh my God, talk about a show going off the fucking rails. I mean, such a great first season.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of was never a huge fan of it. I was like, okay, it's an interesting kind of take.
First season was good stuff.
Everybody told me, the second season went off the rails. I mean, the first season kind of. I hated the twist in the first season too. I was kind of pissed, but
you didn't like that, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like. I don't like it when you're fucking with me and you don't.
You're tricking.
You to trick
the
me.
viewer.
Yeah, that to me is cheap. Right?
Yeah, you're
It's
tricking for cheap thrills.
Unless it's a Sixth Sense kind of thing where it's oh, I should have known the whole time.
Yeah.
Then you're kind of wait a minute, this is the same character and we're in two different time periods. That's dumb.
I can see you being pissed off by that. Yeah, but overall, it was an interesting show and kept my interest, and I was looking forward to it on Sunday night. Some gratuitous nudity. Just kidding. I always joke with the HBO shows. We'd watch Game of Thrones. It would say, graphic nudity, and we'd had a lot. My wife would be like, "Why are you stop smiling at the opening credits?" We're teaching each other. I'm like, because most of the time, and then a lot of times you get more nude guys than gals in the show too. But yeah, Westworld, and the third season was just unwatchable. It's like the hero you want to root. You're hoping that the characters that you were supposed to root for get killed in it. It was so bad. Yeah. So now they're saying that European Commission and other governments would have to approve that. How would that? I guess because they do business internationally or the subsidiaries based there. Or, I mean, if it's an American company, it goes through in America, but Europe could stop it. Or
well,
That's what they're saying. Likely require approval
Warner
from
Brothers
European
was
Commission.
initially, I believe, a Canadian company. This is what
Okay.
Script Doctor was saying. I don't know if they
that's
are
right. Yeah,
technically
I remember him saying
anymore,
that.
but I think certain parts of it might be. I don't know.
Yeah. And Void King has a good question here. Is Netflix going to respect Warner Brothers catalog with and not screw with them? Yeah, who knows? Like,
What do you mean by respect?
so many warnings. Like, are they gonna like bury stuff or not show some of the old Looney Tune cartoons, or put them behind warnings, or mess with the IP, and Bugs Bunny can't wear a dress anymore, kind of thing.
Who knows?
But it's just going to be interesting. Yeah, and then they would control DC. They control Superman. I heard some people saying, for years I've been saying Batman, not just me, but Batman should be a TV show, like a weekly mystery, detective comics show. Imagine how awesome a Batman TV show would be, with adventures of Batman and Robin, or you could have Bruce at first and then bring, Dick Grayson in later. But imagine how phenomenal that would be. And you just do a case of the week, right? And you've got that whole history of books, to cover. God, it would be wonderful to have, Batman on TV. We got Superman. Tyler, how do you say his last name? Hochin? It's on his Instagram, how to say his name. He was pretty good as Superman, but then it became more of like a family drama. They did have some good, supervillain action in the beginning, but then budget constraints, and it became Lois battling cancer, which I could kind of appreciate that from a family standpoint. But if we got a hardcore Batman's a little bit easier to write for, I think, too. So if you had some great Batman stories, damn, that would be good. That would be so good. So could you imagine if that was streaming? Of course, they would dump them all at once, which I think is bad, but again, in a few years, it's going to be either way. It's a radical shift in movie studios, because Netflix would be able to pull in all that IP.
Yeah, this is
fantastic for Netflix.
This is the downside. Okay, this is the negative. Theaters are going to be extremely affected. Home video is going to be extremely affected. Television is going to be extremely affected unless those get spun off on their own. But they're not going to have the power behind them that they did before with Warner Brothers, right? So I mean, it's gonna really change the landscape of film, even if they're still stuck in certain contracts, which they are contractually obligated to carry out. If it's through 2029, that basically means we've got another 5 years of theaters before they hit a major kind of like, because unless Netflix gets a taste for that money, which I'm fingers crossed, hopefully they do if this deal goes through, that they're like, wait a minute, we're making some money if we put these movies out in theaters for about a month. And look at this. More people watch them when we put them on our streaming service too.
Demon Hunters made $20 million in one weekend, right?
Yeah, but see, the thing is with a lot of those kind of movies, like I think the K-pop thing isn't that's a universal thing, right? So like,
okay, yeah,
they need to get a taste of it, full-fledged influx right now, cash, for like say put a movie in. And I've said this before, like when Happy Gilmore 2 came out, we did the numbers on that as far as the households that watched it that opening weekend. If just say half, and that's not even counting like families, right? That's just counting households, right? Just a single number.
Yep.
If just half the amount of people are the households were people buying tickets, so we're giving like a major cut here, right? And being very generous.
Yeah.
Extremely conservative, I should say, not generous.
Yeah, because there's a lot of lazy asses who don't want to go to the movie theater. We're just waiting for
streaming. We did the math. That movie could have opened at like somewhere between $150 to $200 million.
Because it was damn popular, and it's got a built-in audience.
Exactly, and that's being extremely conservative on the numbers. Going, giving a lot of these people wouldn't go see it anyway because it's at home. They're watching it. Okay, we'll give them that. And then we're going by single household numbers, not by families. So do some math. We sat down and figured it out, like Valiant and Pro and I or whatever. We sat down. We're like, yeah, this movie could have grossed $150 to $200 million. It's opening weekend. Can you imagine that?
Big hits, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been one of the biggest movies of the year, possibly.
And hail to Lyle Hobson. Hey, great to have you on Sunday Night Geekery.
But I mean, if Netflix gives a taste of that, they might change their tune pretty darn quick. And who's to say that their tune wasn't changed from the K-pop thing and all that kind of stuff in the last
How
month
much
or
is
so?
that gross now? They put it out twice, right?
Right, but I don't know how much Netflix sees from that or what, but like
yeah. But just the potential, the idea for the potential too, and then you still got the streaming audience too, because I mean that's a niche.
I wonder if they got a
case
piece
too.
of that, because even though it's Universal DreamWorks, I wonder if they got a piece of that Gabby's Dollhouse deal too,
Yeah,
because they don't get that movie until next year, is my understanding.
yeah, because what's interesting with that was the K-pop movie. They it's a niche kind of because like one of those musicals and like kids are want to see, and they had that sing along version. So I mean, maybe it's not apples to apples, but it just gives you an idea of the potential if you got something popular. And they released this. It's the reverse, so it was free to watch if you had a Netflix subscription, but then you go pay to go see it in the movie theater just to enjoy it. The sing along, and God, I mean that's I'm looking it up now to see how much money it made, because I know it went back into theaters. So of course Utopia 2 is killing it, but let's see worldwide and then yearly. I'm sure I don't know if it's gonna be way down the bottom of the list, but let's see if I do a search here for Demon. The Demon Slayer, of course, that was a hugely popular anime, but let's K-pop Demon. All right, so it made $24 million. Okay, so the second time it didn't make as much. But that's, imagine if you found $24 million somewhere. I mean, it's not costing them much to get that into theaters, right? I mean,
No.
So
I don't even know if they did all that much advertising for it. It was mostly
right?
word of mouth, probably social media talk and whatnot.
And
I
it
mean,
was
again,
on. And it was on, and they advertised it on Netflix, actually, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, you get to a point where maybe they start making some money on this. Maybe they'll change their tune a little bit, but I don't know. I'm worried about this just like everybody else. I don't see this as a good move. I wouldn't see it as a good move if Paramount went out. I wouldn't see it as a good move if Comcast would have went out. I don't think I think the best move would have been had the studio spun off, the
separated
and done some stuff like that, because, look, regulate the FT. It's the Federal Trade Commission is going to have issues with just about anybody buying Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers is such a big company.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Paramount, they have a lot of television and stuff. That's going to cause issues there. Comcast, they couldn't do it probably because of the music. They'd have to sell off their music catalog first. Because because there's only 3 companies that own all the fucking music now in the world.
All the music in the world. Yeah.
BMG, Sony, Universal, and Warner Brothers. So, like, what are you going to do? Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's just amazing. So you want that competition, so you have diversity in of people fighting against each other to make the best movie and to win over viewers.
And believe you me, they're going to have the money to probably grease enough wheels to make this happen.
Remember when Netflix was going to go out of business about 5 years ago? The pundits were saying they're not going to last, they're not going to survive, they're going to lose the streaming wars, their stock went way down for a while, right? And Netflix is an amazing story. I mean, they started with DVDs and mail order. It was basically a mail order blockbuster, but they had this wherewithal to call themselves Netflix, even though there was no streaming when they started. And even a few years ago, it was still getting DVDs from Netflix.
Well, it's because they didn't really ever have any competition.
Right.
And they killed what little competition they had. And so that's another problem you have here is like, oh, so you're going to stop Netflix now. But what about when they killed the fucking video industry?
Blockbuster. Yeah, they took it over. And, and you got your movies from Netflix, and it was kind of a niche thing, and then they became a huge juggernaut. My wife, all she does is watch Netflix. She watches every effing thing on Netflix. And I joke with her. She's like, well, I don't know how to change to HBO Max, or I got to show her on the Roku. I mean, she's a smart lady, but she's like, I just watch Netflix, and I think the algorithm picks what she's gonna want to watch next, and does a pretty good job of it, and that's what people love. So you just get sucked into that Netflix world. We don't watch regular TV here anymore. other than streaming. Sports, live sports, and news, and streaming. I mean, I think that's the way most people are going. So network and cable is dying out, and Netflix. God, do you imagine the hub they're going to be if they've got, the Warner's catalog and can stream all those movies and then control.
Get ready
over
for Netflix
all the
music.
IP and Netflix Music, right? Yep, because you've got Amazon Music, Apple Music, but Apple is and Spotify, right? And Apple's probably. Do you think Apple's bigger than Spotify, or is Spotify bigger?
Spotify is probably used more, but
More.
Apple probably generates more revenue. I mean, I guess it depends on the platform. But yeah, don't be surprised. Like if this deal goes through, that Netflix will start something to do with music because they'll have the Warner catalog.
Right.
And that'll also open them up to be able to use a lot more of that music in their shows and movies.
Right.
And that's already been a major revenue source for a lot of these artists because they have no other sources anymore. It's kind of funny how maybe you and I talked about this. I don't know if it was on here or on Mead, or you may have been part of the conversation or not if it was on Mead, but about how, a lot of these artists now, it's back in the day, you didn't see or hear artists like Led Zeppelin or the Beatles and certain other ones like Prince and stuff like that in movies at all, or often at all, because they were almost impossible to get the rights from. Now you hear them all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Why? Because these companies conglomerated so much, they made it easier now. And this is how they've been able to get shows like, Wonder Years and WKRP and stuff back together again for the most part, because those music rights were spread out so far and you had to negotiate with so many people before, and it cost a fortune, to where now they're almost all in-house, or you got less people to deal with, and they need the cash. They need to
show me the money.
Their laurels have gone out the window. Now they're like, what? Before 20 years ago, they're like, I ain't letting no car wash use my song, and then now a car wash wants to use their song. Give it to them. They want 3 songs for the price of 1. Sure.
Yeah, well, Freaks and Geeks, right? I mean, that show, one of my favorite shows, and you have to have the original music to watch the episodes. The show does not work without the music. And they finally, years later, they finally got it, and the guys are basically, if you read about the show, and I have the high school edition of a really cool special edition of that with all the write-ups on it. And yeah, it just, you can't do the show without that music because it's integral to the characters, and they're talking about the music and the bands, and it's just part of their life. And music, I think, was much bigger to the youths back in the day too. I don't think music is as it's still popular,
WKRP
but it's
had
free.
A similar issue because you had a lot of times the DJs doing the outros and the intros to songs. If they didn't have the rights to them, you could tell, oh, that's not the right song.
Yeah, what the hell is this? Yeah, that's just music. Yep. So, culture gonna get excited tomorrow that Freddie got an extra $10 million over Zootopia too.
I'm not surprised.
We'll have to watch. Right?
The kids left one and jumped to the other one. And that's what happens. You got something the kids want to see. It's like Minecraft all over again, right? I mean,
yeah.
This is what I've been saying for a while. Make IPs that these kids recognize. Do stuff for the kids. Ninja Turtles wasn't made for us back in the day. I mean,
Nope.
People our age, it was made for us as kids.
Yeah,
right?
10, 12, 15-year-old, predominantly boys. But you did have April there, but it was a boys IP. Yeah, young.
But it
boys
was new.
IP.
It was something fresh. It wasn't, Superman. It wasn't Batman necessarily, even though Batman was really big at that time. But that was because Batman hadn't had a serious film yet. But the idea aside was, it's not your dad's Batman, right? Like that was how they kind of sold it, right?
Yeah,
this is not Adam West.
Camping. Yeah.
But back then
Sacrilege.
we didn't have the resistance to that we do now, and rightfully so, right? Like, I mean,
yeah,
the idea of things being updated for modern audiences took on a whole new meaning now.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yep. Oh God, yep. So
when did the original Zootopia come out? 2016, something like that.
That old? Yeah, wow.
It's been
killing it internationally. It's killing it internationally. So that we get back in that whole kit and caboodle about how much money they're making from the international stuff. But it's definitely it's a freaking popular movie. No arguing that one. I mean, so for the weekend, what did we have for the weekend here? Domestic. Let's click on that. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, where's my weekend? Here we go. Let's go to the weekend. Yep. Post Thanksgiving. Yep. Yeah, you're right, Tom. Yeah, well, it's not a surprise that much that the kids have already seen it, but a lot of movies would kill for $43 million. The second weekend, right? So
Yeah.
not a surprise there that.
Not a great drop, but I mean, it's got some competition with Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
That's my point. Yeah.
And Wicked for Good. And with a moderate success, I guess.
It fell off a cliff here, and I think
Yeah.
WD Pro kind of predicted that might happen. I'm not
Bad
really
word of
that
mouth on
surprised
that
either.
movie is what I'm hearing.
Partially, and it was a very front loaded.
Yeah. So
And Kill Bill did a little better than I thought it did. I thought it was only going to do about 2.
3 million,
Yeah, that's actually
1,100
pretty
screens.
good, actually.
$3,000 per. Where's the per screen? Oh, average $2,700 per screen.
Pretty good
So not
average,
bad,
actually.
Yep. For a movie that's 20 plus years old. Yeah.
And only on like half the screens is the bigger pictures, yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely a niche.
And a
niche
5-hour movie.
thing. Yeah, right. If you count the freaking my God,
It only gets like 2 shows a day usually.
I can't believe they had the previews in there. Yeah.
I
did
can't
say
believe they
youths.
weren't smarter to split it up. It would have made more sense.
Yeah. No, I think so too. Yep. Yeah, the Kill Bill Whole Bloody Affair. Yep, Whole Bloody Affair. Yep.
Yeah, they should release part 1 this month and part 2 next month.
That would have
They'd
been much
better
smarter.
off.
Yeah. It's tougher for it's very tough for people to sit through.
It
Even
is.
my friend, when I asked my friend, he's like, it's going to be 5 hours. Just the times suck.
Yep.
I mean, like I was going to go maybe yesterday. I got
The intermission is like
stuff to
15
do.
minutes. And all it is just a screen that says intermission.
Intermission, right?
Yeah.
It's just you go empty your bladders now and buy more popcorn, or don't buy the bladder buster before you sit down for the 5-hour movie. Yep.
Yeah, at least the beauty of it is I kind of knew.
You knew
Like-
going in. Yeah.
I knew where things were going to happen probably, so I'm like, okay, I got to plan for the bathroom break. Yeah.
Well, there's an app for that too now. Yeah, when to go to the bathroom.
Well,
yeah, the best.
This
the
I
best
knew there was going to be
times.
an intermission, but I kind of had a feeling when it was going to come in. So I kind of
Yeah.
knew once I hit the crazy 88 scene, I'm like, okay, I'll be able to take a piss here in about 15 minutes, 10 minutes maybe.
Hold it.
Yeah, just hold it. You'll be all right.
Did so? You were the only person in the movie theater?
Sadly, yeah. But here's the thing: is they added a bunch of showings at the last minute because there was a lot of people complaining about not being able to find a screening near them, and I shared their gripes. Yellow
Okay.
Flash being one of them. But I'm like, dude, recheck. Because like the Wednesday before the movie dropped, a bunch of theaters got added.
They added them. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So like I was like, shit. Because like just in my area alone, like 5 got added, and I'm like, I'll go to the closest one, although my instinct is telling me not to.
Because of the quality of the theater.
Well,
yeah.
that and the other one I think was an hour later, and it's a little bit farther drive, but the quality I should have went to the Madison showings or the Mineral Point showing, which actually the Mineral Point one was the only one that had seats left. That was the problem, is the Madison showing was all filled up already. So that's why I'm not totally surprised it did well. Just where I went to see it was a podunk nowhere. Well, not podunk nowhere. It was in the Dells, Wisconsin Dells. But as you know, it's off season. So ain't nobody at the movie theater. And the 10 people that were there to see Friday Nights at Freddy's. So yeah.
Yeah. So they were there to see Freddy, and the projection quality wasn't good, and something like that, I got to be in the freaking recliner seat. I mean, for 5 hours, right? So,
Yeah, that was starting to get to me about halfway through. I'm like, oh God, I didn't think this through.
Yeah. And the Predator only made 90
Dropping off a
domestic.
cliff, yeah.
Wow, that disappeared in worldwide 175. So I guess is that a
I guess
flop
it leaked
based on its?
online already too. So
Oh, it did, yeah. But is that a flop
Mm-hmm.
based on its budget, I guess, or
yeah, kind of. It's not
Kinda,
going to
yeah.
make its money back
yeah? So interesting. Yep.
because I think it had an $90 billion budget. I think it was.
Yep. So with advertising and yeah,
Metallica,
That's a-
man, they have not updated it since like 2000 whatever. Anyway, so yeah.
so not so good, right? Yeah. Because I'm spoiled now too. I mean, I pay the $20 to go to the movie, but I go to the Dobley Theater or the IMAX. It's a mini IMAX, but the Dolby has the reclining seats, so I always opt for that. And the sound and picture is phenomenal in that. The IMAX, when they put it in, it was awesome, but it doesn't have reclining seats. I'm hoping they put in the reclining seats, but it's a much smaller seat count in that theater. And it's not the movie theater I usually go to. It's not in the digital because it's showing Five Fingers at whatever the Freddy movie. What the hell is it called? Five Nights at Freddy 2. Yep. I'm mixing up my Freddy titles, and so I might go to the movie that I normally don't go to. I don't know how the picture will be, but it has reclining seats, so that's what I gotta have for that. Yeah.
I honestly haven't been a fan of going to digital cinemas since they first started. At first, it was like, oh, cool, get to see a movie completely clear and crystal clear. But then over time, you started, as they switched over to digital cameras, it started to notice, everything's getting dingy and smudgy and crappy, and
or Windows crashes and it pops up on the screen.
Yeah, and nothing gets updated anymore. So unless I pay to go see it at IMAX or a better screen, it's like, then I'm paying out the ass.
It is expensive, but the digital Dolby Digital is really good. I have to say,
Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos screening, and IMAX have been the two better, and a DLX screening was not bad.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Yep. All right. Well, why don't we switch gears? I think both of us, the consensus is I'm going to show some New York City picture.
When you had your
we'll flip through some fun pictures. Try not to have it go too long, but
I was gonna say because I don't know how much longer I got.
Yeah, just
sure you heard me.
No, don't want to go for. Even though we love hanging out, don't want to go forever. But I think the consensus is not good that Netflix is buying Warner. It could end up okay, but would have preferred this standard studio. This what we heard about was a studio split, and Warner stays quote unquote independent or its own entity. But it's gonna. We're all going to streaming anyway, so maybe this is just accelerating. Movie theater's gonna end up as a niche thing where you just go see that, like the new Star Wars, restored Star Wars in Zootopia.
Yeah. Disney had a lot of ups this week, but they were still outstaged by Warner Brothers and Netflix. But because for those who didn't catch it, the rumor I heard a while back is true, I guess. We are getting the original version of Star Wars in 2027 in theaters.
Thank God. Praise the Lord. Praise the Maker.
It was a little bit more than a rumor because I did see some actual evidence. I saw some color timing shit that if you know what you're looking at, you know what to look for. You're like, yeah, that's legit. Because for those who don't know, I know George Lucas famously lied to everybody 30 years ago, and he's like,
it's gone.
The original negative's destroyed, and I had to destroy it to make this new special edition, so you're never getting
bullshit.
And that's why all the fucking people that made it are like, wait a minute, you had to scan the original negative to make the special edition, George. That's not true.
Oops.
Yeah, not to be confused with the version that was shown at the BFI last year. Because that was just a print.
That was a print. Yeah, that wasn't the original negatives. It was very cool to show it.
And I'm starting to learn how many people don't understand how movies are made since this
the difference between a print and a negative.
The negative and all that kind of business. Like, let me tell you something, folks. They don't touch the negative for shit. Unless they have to. Okay?
Yeah,
there's only been a handful of movies in history where they've messed with the negative more than a few times. We're talking like 2001, Gone with the Wind, Wizard of Oz, but they're preserved and they're taken such good care of. George Lucas played up the damage that was done to Star Wars to an nth degree.
Well, we did lose part of Gone with the Wind is gone when they tried to convert it to widescreen. We did lose parts of Gone with the Wind, but that's
now they may have had to use answer prints and other things. See, that's the thing is, yes, there are older films where they've lost pieces of the negative or they weren't restored over time. Because even movies like The Exorcist, and I just talked about that. Like they've done so much shit over the years. Or The Godfather, they've done so much shit over the years to it, where it's been restored and re-released, that you get to a point where most of the negative has been removed and they put in other pieces that were in better shape. Well, now technology is better. They can go back to that original negative and fix it. And like, Jaws is a great example of that because they scanned it at like 6K. And yeah, the original negative did have some damage on it, but it was easily fixed. Easily fixed for the most part.
Especially with today's technology.
Exactly. Yeah. And we're not even talking AI yet. This is even pre-AI before they started using, and don't even get me started on that. But like, yeah. So when a lot of these, unless it was lost in a fire or physically cannot be located, studios take very, very good care of their negatives, and they don't generally get touched but maybe 2 or 3 times in their entire lifetime.
Yeah, because what they to make a movie,
yeah.
You've got that original negative, but then you're making your prints off of that negative that one time.
Well, the first initial answer print is, but then every print is made off of that after that.
Yeah. So then they're using that the negative, that first negative is like the original holy grail of the film, and then you make that initial copy, and then it's not touched after that because you want to preserve that.
Even during the editing process, you don't touch it until the movie is set, and then you have very people who know what the fuck they're doing go through that, and they don't do this anymore because movies aren't really handled this way anymore. It's all digital. They just scan them in now, but back then that knew how to handle this shit, and then they would go in and make the actual cuts to the negative. They would
physical
spit out
cuts.
Yes, physical cuts.
Cut the negative, yeah.
Yes, and now, yes, there were times where if it wasn't used in the movie, that stuff was tossed. Okay, that is a plausibility.
Yeah, like
that happened a lot more back in the day, yes.
Yeah, what's the movie where, the crazy sci-fi movie with, they're going into the, not into the black hole, but not Saturn V, what the hell? And famously they lost, a lot of the footage that was cut to make the movie shorter. But yeah, it's gone. Like the negatives got thrown. I'm spacing on the name of the movie, In Space.
There have been movies where the negatives have been fucked with, but like as far as major movies, 9 times out of 10, especially something like Star Wars, the negative was kept in good shape.
Event Horizon, thank you, Lenron.
Yeah, Event Horizon. Yeah, they did get rid of a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, and Courtney's here. So sorry I couldn't be here tonight, but I'm hoping you're having a fun stream. We are, but not as fun because you're not here. Much love to the chat and Mark and Tom. Thank you, Courtney.
Hey, Courtney.
Have a great week. Yep.
But yeah, for those who don't know why they would get rid of it back in the day, it's storage. Because you got to store this shit.
And it's expensive. And they're
big. It's expensive. And film used to be very flammable.
Yeah, the nitrate used to go out and catch on fire. Yeah.
So they would not keep any more. And that's the other thing is most of the stuff that's lost is like a lot of older films are cobbled together from, fine grain negative dupes and other things like that. They will do that. They'll do like a negative dupe right away. And then they'll do an answer print. And then they'll do like 3 prints off that answer print. And then those 3 prints are usually like the prints that were used to do the actual film prints. But guys, you got to remember back in the day when they would do these film prints, they would only be able to produce, depending on how many facilities they had at the time. When it was at a height, it was a little bit more, but like, you're talking 20 some prints a day, and they would have to go through each print a lot of times and check them and make sure they're the right color timing and all that other kind of stuff. And then, they would have to lay them all out, and they would, this one's a little more red. Well, then put it with a red one. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of the job they had to do. And you'd cobble these prints together and send them out to theaters. But even still, those prints were pretty good quality considering they were 3rd, 4th generation removed. And it's the same thing with music, right? You would record the music on a multi-track, which would be basically the same as your negative. And then you would make a master from that, which would be your mix down or whatever, that was on a new tape altogether. Then that tape they would produce like 4 or 5 master dupes. And then those dupes would then be used to make the records and everything else from. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're making copies, but of a 2nd generation original. So it's not as much degradation. But it's not the same thing as finding a print that's out there, and that's what some of these fan based versions, like the Despecialized Edition and other versions have been made. They found prints and scanned prints, and they're pretty damn good. And that's what I watch.
Because fans have curated prints of movies over the years. Like there's this one YouTube channel I watch. I can't remember his name, like the Movie Vault guy or something. I can't remember his name exactly. Somebody might know. He's a guy that's over in Britain or something like that, or the UK somewhere, where he's got his own little projector set up at home, and he's got a few 35 millimeter prints and stuff like that. And there used to be a little collector's market for it. So Mark is 100%
Yeah.
right. Like these 4K scans that are out there now of the Star Wars films, they literally come from private collections.
Yeah, there's some new Doctor Who that were allegedly private collectors have that we're gonna find or come out now. We might have some new episodes of lost episodes of Who appearing that, and a lot of them have been saved by private collectors or people found them or
I think like two new episodes were found or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the rumor that those are coming out. Because years ago, I remember reading like someone was supposed to show them and like at a Comic-Con, come up to my hotel room. I've got these episodes, so we think we're gonna get.
I think somebody had a telecine or something like that of 2 episodes, but the rest of them were ones that were already out there. But like that, I can't remember exactly. But for those who don't know what a telecine is, that's where they used to actually take the film, put it on a screen, and then videotape it basically.
So it's really shitty looking.
And back then they used to do that just to broadcast it. So you had a broadcast camera up against a screen. But like now here's the thing with like Doctor Who and a lot of those BBC shows and even a lot of shows in the US we'll come to learn over the years, and we are learning now, is a lot of them were either finished off on videotape or shot on videotape or shot live in a weird way that the videotape is now lost or unplayable or unretrievable. So yeah, like,
or they would send them to the
over.
Yeah. Or they would send the film to like, it would be in one of the, the British colonies or, it would go to like Spain or something or Africa, and they'd find like, it was supposed to be destroyed or, they'd find the copy that was, for broadcast TV. So they found a number of episodes that way.
Well, I guess I Love Lucy is one of those shows now where they've, out of pure stupidity, that a lot of the main original shows have been lost. And what they did is at a certain point, they edited the episodes down over the years, and I guess they went back to the original negatives. They did the syndicated cuts, did a bunch of
more commercials, yeah.
Well, yeah, they did a bunch of 16 millimeter prints of those, and then I guess they either tossed the negatives or did something with them at one point to where, yeah, I guess like a good 80 to 90% of the negatives for the Lucy show for the I Love Lucy are gone. And all we've got are these 16 millimeter prints that have been cobbled together. And some of them even have like video elements and stuff to them, I guess, now. And that's why that set is in such weird shape, because the AI upconverted it all too.
Oh, God.
It's a mess. But there's some shows where
no one thought people would watch them again too, right? I mean,
well, and that was the problem with some of those when they went to that. Yeah, like if they weren't taken care of. Now, like some studios did preserve their stuff a little bit better, but others did not. So, yeah.
Yeah, no one thought that we need the tape. So yeah, get them to, we got to reuse them. It's money, right? Yeah, no one's gonna watch this again. It's old TV. Yeah, that's old TV, right? And they're not your VCR tapes that you're thinking of too. It was broadcast quality, so the tapes themselves
we're talking either U-matic or some other format.
Yeah, they were not. They were expensive tapes.
Even VHS is pretty expensive if you think about it.
Yeah, right?
I mean, you go back and think about it. We used to spend, what, $6 to $8 probably on a standard blank tape?
Yeah.
Do the inflation on that real quick.
No, blank tapes weren't cheap. That's why you reused them over and over.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
I remember Mom was like, Mom, please, can we get another blank tape? No, just reuse one of the other ones. I don't want a tape over He-Man.
Yeah.
So somewhere is this in a galaxy far away? Could be happening right now.
So is this this Disney put this trailer out, or this is
is somebody restored it themselves?
Restored the trailer. Okay, so it's an upconverted or restored version. Yeah.
I think they just took shots from the 4K version or whatever.
Yeah, and remade it. Yeah. But yeah, so and what was the bullshit about George Lucas not wanting? I know he didn't want to release the original version, but allegedly, he wouldn't allow it to be part of the deal was he wouldn't allow the original Star Wars to be shown. Was there any truth to that?
It has to do with mainly to do with just okay. The story went that his wife, being one of the original editors, that was one of the reasons why he wanted to do the special edition, so she wouldn't make any money off it. But that's not true, because he bought her out of her rights years ago.
Right.
So.
Because allegedly she saved Star Wars. That's the tagline you hear, like with the edit, her brilliant editing and Star Wars.
Yeah, my understanding is he bought her out of her rights years and years and years ago. That being said, now the best I can come up with is that it's a bunch of, he's just basically pissy that he didn't get an Oscar.
Okay.
And because a lot of the stuff that he changed, if you think about it, was the stuff that won Oscars. It's like, why are you fucking with Oscar-winning special effects and shit?
Yeah, right.
And you're adding in half of a plot line that makes no sense to anybody who has no idea what the fuck that plot line is. Right?
Yep.
And you're adding a Jabba the Hutt scene that nobody gives a shit about.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it's
and kind of
horrible.
takes
It's
away
not a
the
good
whole
scene.
mystique of him.
Yeah, you don't need that scene.
And the other edits and tweaks were just noise, really, at the end of the day, when you think about the Mos Eisley scene and how
It's
he
just
tweaked that.
eye candy bullshit, and they add too
Yeah.
much to it too. It's like
It was a
they'd added
testing
just
ground, is what it was.
yeah, if they'd had a couple of dinosaurs in the background or a couple of fun things, but they went way over the top. It's just too crazy. Or I don't mind cleaning up effects, or like, okay, we can do these creatures better now, or
He would have been
maybe
better
it's
off
sacrilege.
recompositing everything instead of doing it CGI, because I'm not a fan of it. I think it looks worse. I know some people are like, oh, well, it looks a little bit better. I'm like, no, it looks
Well, that
worse to me.
CGI, that technology back then wasn't that good either. So
No.
relative today, so yeah, A, you don't need it, and B, like, yes, if you can do it a little bit better, so the space battles, you keep the same exact battle. All right, we got better tech. We're gonna add a few more X-wings in, maybe, so it looks a little, grandeur. But this Star Wars, the original, was such a kick-ass movie. It didn't need it, right? I mean, it's one of the highest grossing movies of all time. So, and the real sticker is too that you couldn't flip a switch like you could in Star Trek. And I want the original effects. I want the new effects.
Right.
Like
Well,
that's all
what
he had to
bothers
do.
me. As much of a hate boner I have for Ridley Scott, at least that son of a bitch will let you have all 10 versions of fucking Blade Runner, right?
Right?
Like,
yeah.
he's not keeping anything from anybody. And that's my main gripe. Is like, I could give a shit if you did 10 different special editions of Star Wars, as long as I get the original version that I grew up with. Because here's the
Yep.
thing that a lot of people I don't think understand about this, and a lot of people are like, why is it such a big deal to you? And especially it comes from younger people who grew up with the special editions and don't understand. You guys got to understand. These movies, we saw them so many times growing up, it's like listening to music.
Yep.
And when somebody changes something in a song, you notice.
You get pissed. I'm gonna grab something relevant to this discussion in the other room. I'll be back in
Absolutely. Go
a
ahead.
minute. So,
But yeah, no, I mean, that's the best way I could describe it, because it's just a thing where you've grown up so long, and this is how we notice these little tweaks and changes in these movies when they happen, is because it's like, wait a minute, that ain't right. That drum was supposed to come in a little sooner. His voice was higher there before. Where is the background vocals there? We start to notice things just ain't right. And it's the same kind of thing with these movies. It's just like, wait a minute here, you missed something. Or you messed with something, and it just doesn't feel like it's supposed to. And Star Wars is one of the biggest movies with that, especially the newer versions where George just scrubbed the shit out of them, and they look so sterile. The first time I popped in that 4K copy of the 4K scans of Star Wars, I almost cried because it looked like it was supposed to look. And I had not seen it look like that in over 30 years. Sure, it's rough. It's not as clean, and the resolution isn't quite nearly as good as a good 4K negative scan, but damn, it was just, that's what I remember the movie looking like. And it hasn't looked like that in so fucking long. And I'm really trying to stretch this out for Mark, because he's taking a lot longer than I expected him to. Usually he's out right after whatever he's going after, he gets it right away. So yeah. Yeah. So an Empire, I mean, people give that
Sorry
one too
about
much of
the
a
stretch.
pass. No, you're fine.
Yep. I stretched a little bit longer. Yep. I don't walk as fast when I get up off the.
Well, usually your thing's
chair
right
after
there, or whatever. You're like right there.
This
You're
was
like,
in the
boom,
other
boom.
room. Well, the funny thing was this. I grabbed this at work over the weekend, and it's our own business, so I have in the old days we had a VCR there, so these movies ended up at work, and this is like the holy grail of my collection back in the day, or one of the favorite things of my collection. So my camera lid fell. Of course, everyone knows.
Oh yeah,
this.
the THX set. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
that
so
too.
the THX set. Yeah, so I'm big in But this was the only way you could. The last time I think you could watch the original trilogy unmolested, other than that crappy Laserdisc version they threw on that special edition. So yeah, so this box art, yeah, you recognize it. And I played this over and over and over. And what does George say on the back here? The appeal of Star Wars has gone beyond anything I could have ever imagined. I'm pleased that for the final video release, video release of Star Wars in its original form, we can present it with the best sound and picture quality yet available, thanks to the THS digital mastering. So even on the back of this box here, he's saying the last release of the original version of Star Wars. In the years to come, I hope you, your children, and your children's children will enjoy not only this trilogy, but also the adventures yet to come, the continually unfolding Star Wars universe. So he says we're going to get new Star Wars when this box set comes out. But this is the last release of Star Wars in its original version. So that was a pretty big red flag when that came out back in the day.
We didn't quite get it then, though, I don't think.
We didn't get it, though, right? In that original version. But, of course, you've got the classic, box art on these. You've got...
Although,
Jedi.
honestly, I'll say it, I hated those.
Why did you hate these?
I like the original poster art better.
Okay, all right. Well, poster art, yeah.
Because I actually traded off my old set when I got that, and I'm like, I had remorse ever since. I'm like, I should have kept the covers.
Should have kept both, yeah. But this was considered the best, quote unquote, the best viewing version in terms of quality. I would say this. And there's Empire, and what's in this? Oh yeah, so I still have. What the heck is in here? Let's see.
Special offers.
Special offers inside. Oh, let's see what this. Actually, I've never. Oh, I did open it. Okay, the glue is still kind of sticking there. Let's see the special offers. Let's see. Cast yourself in the Fox Video Movie Club. Okay, so there's some kind of offer here. Okay, now don't send this in, anyone, or try to copy this, but yeah. Join a great cast of characters. Yeah, so it's one of those contests where you could, I guess, scoop your friends with the latest info. Yep. So, yeah, here's the... it doesn't come through on the video, but yeah, it's just one of the standard sign up for something. And then here's the Star Wars savings book. Let's see. I haven't looked at this in years, but
I can't believe you still have that.
I save everything.
I used to have shit, but yeah.
Oh, don't want to mess that up. So I guess they've got free comics. Yeah, I should scan this in. Free comics. Dark Forces, the video game. $10 off.
You never used the coupons,
I
Mark.
The coupon. I didn't get the coupon.
You wasted money.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Yeah, this would be worth scanning, or probably someone already has scanned this in. But yeah, save $50 on the purchase of animation serial sales. Yeah, animation from the droids. Star Wars watches. Yeah, so this is basically marketing. Yeah, marketing stuff, but pretty freaking cool, right? So, but yeah,
a bunch of my Highlander ones have those in them too.
Yeah,
like those kind of things.
That stuff. Yeah. Well, let me show the first Star Wars when it was just Star Wars.
Before the intranet was big.
Yeah. Here's Darth on the cover, of course, and
one last time.
Phantasm is not kind. He doesn't rewind. Yeah.
See, and I thought when it said one last time, I thought it meant video. Right? Because I'm sitting here going, because at this point, you guys got to understand, like this came out in 95, 94 when those tapes came out. DVD was being discussed. Laserdisc was kind of not really making inroads, but like it was kind of becoming like a thing where we like knew that a disc-based option was coming. Right.
You knew so VCR's days were numbered. Yeah,
exactly. So we're kind of going, oh, he means in this format, probably.
Yeah.
Little did we fucking know
that he would F with the movies and he'd never
let us have them again. Yeah.
Yeah. And as we say over and over, just give it to us, both versions, right? And this was the last time that you could get this this version where it was not
technically,
not molested.
even though they put those versions on those DVDs, but yeah, it's the same thing, just from the laser discs. But yeah,
it's a laser, and it's a crappy It's how do you say it? Non-anamorphic.
Yeah,
it's just a crappy version of. It's not what a cinephile would want to see on these movies. As these movies be treated, I should say. So, and I'm glad I never threw these out. I never throw out much stuff. So, I kept the VHSs. But for a while, I know a lot of people. I think 70s throw out a lot of his VHSs, and a lot of people throwing it out. Yep. And Poon's asking, did he buy the cardboard box in 77? I have a couple of the original figures. I can't remember what. I think I have R2, and I have a couple of original figures. I remember the cardboard box, where you could buy the figures and then send them in.
Special. The
early bird special, but I don't know if I only have a couple figures left, so I can't remember if I got it yet. And Submaster says my THX Star Wars trilogy is widescreen. Wow, is this was this widescreen on this one?
There was a widescreen version.
That's nice. Yeah, I think this was pan and scan, wasn't it?
Yeah, most people got the pan and scan one.
Most people. That's cool to get the widescreen. That's awesome, man. That's very cool. Yeah. Yeah, the tapes stick after a while. That's for sure. Yeah. I have the DVD with the crappy version on it. Yep. That tape is not rewound. Yeah. Well, I'd probably stop. The last thing I was trying to do was my brother-in-law, who I've mentioned a lot of times on the show, Uncle Paul. He actually worked on Star Wars, that new, DVD edition that came out, or Blu-ray edition. So it was the damn bastard. I love the guy, but he's got his credits in Star Wars, and he hadn't even watched Empire Strikes Back or hadn't watched all the movies. He is not worthy to film Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. He did film the special features, and he was actually trying. We were trying to. I'm like, Paul, can you copy these? He had a whole professional rig. Like, can you copy these tapes to digital for me so I can have a digital version of Star Wars? And actually, it's tougher to copy the tapes with the copy protection on the tapes than it is to copy the DVDs. He's like, but we have the new Blu-rays that are out. Don't you want to watch those? I'm like, yeah, but they have all the new crappy special effects. He said, but why does it matter? I'm like, just don't ask. But we couldn't get them off, so I think that's why some of them aren't rewound all the way. Yeah. And Ledron, says merchandising, where the real money of the movie is made. I think I've got that. Somewhere.
Merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
And George did make a lot of money from that. Yeah. And Sashi has the Hunt for Red October. And Laserdiscs are great to collect too, just as display pieces too. Those are freaking awesome. Yep. So so that's hey, your old toys. Great to have you here. So it's gonna be a nice nice day when we get to go see Star Wars in movie theaters. I guess is it in February? When is it coming out? What's the date here? February 19th, 2027. I'm putting it on the calendar right now so my wife doesn't schedule anything. So let's go to 2027 on the calendar. February 19th. Oh, that's my cousin's birthday. Star Wars re-release 2027. All right, that's on the calendar. I'm buying tickets. I get first dibs on tickets. Yep. So that's is that a Friday? Oh, that's a Friday. So it'll probably open the day before that. Yep. So pretty cool. So that's going on the calendar. So Maureen, don't schedule anything on that date in 2 years. Yep. So that'll be pretty cool. Yep. And look at so Your Old Toys is a youngin' you, and he hasn't seen the original version. Yeah, you probably.
Oh wow.
He's a great Star Wars collector, and if you his link is down below in the channel notes. But yeah, I had was showing this, so this is the version of you know the last unmolested version, as they say, of Star Wars. And yeah, there's no version on other than that crappy transfer. I don't think you can get it on the interwebs. You can find it at Your Old Toys if you go to the interwebs. Technically, you're supposed to own the movie before you do that, but you can find fan made versions of that on the interwebs. So that's how I'd recommend you check out the original, because you're a big time old school Star Wars collector. So check out that stuff. All right, well it is getting late here, but let's do a couple of quick. I'll skim through some of these New York City photos, and we'll probably do some more next week. But my wife was in New York City a couple days ago, so that's. Let me go back to the. Let's check here. Yep. Oh, my son's not going to watch this, but we got him a gift. This is really cool pop-up stores in Grand Central. So if you go to Grand Central, check out the Christmas market that's there. And they had this person was making these cool pens that are like custom-made pens out of different reclaimed items. So pretty cool. So a lot of superheroes there. And like they had the Yankees with Babe Ruth and the Mets. So we got him. He's not listening. We got him one for the. Hey, Wes Cagle. We got him one for the Nets because he actually works for the Nets. So hope he likes it, because it ain't cheap. And like they had Harlequin pen. These are fun. Some Star Wars stuff here. There's so we're just talking about Star Wars, how it's ingrained in pop culture. The Spock pen I really like. That's cool. Yeah. I am not Spock yet. And I always love finding handcrafted. I mean, here we're talking about Bruce Lee. There's Green Hornet right there. Yep. So just a fun idea. Yep. So recycled playing cards. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm not that talented. Yeah, Barry Gross, I guess, is the artist's name. Yep. So pretty cool. Yep. And Lenrod says New York Jets. Ew. Oh, come on, the Jets are due to win again. Come on, it's only been 57 years, right? Yep. And we'll see that opening night. I'm so hyped for this new Star Wars release. Love that movie. I've never seen. Yeah, so that's you'll get your chance to see that movie as we all saw it in 1977. God, I'll never forget that. That's one of the memories. It's just burned into my brain. Seeing that movie and that spaceship fly overhead for the first time. Yep. For a moment, I thought those were Wookiee lightsabers made from wood. Yep. And so he's got SEALs and different Navy, Army, Navy. Yep. So some pretty cool stuff. Oh, made with shredded credit cards. Yep. So bullet pen. Yep. Get in trouble on YouTube for that one. Hopefully not. So I just flip through. I take too many pictures. Yep. So let's flip through that. Yep. There's the Nets pen. Yep. We got him. And then we went to the next place. This place was freaking cool. Check this out. Talking about aliens, right? So this is all handmade blown glass. Yeah, there were some chunky pens. Yep. So the dragons, and you got aliens. Look at these. Of course, I tried to convince Maureen, my better half, don't we need one of these glass blown alien figures? So some really cool stuff here. I did a video of this. I'll have to turn this into short. Yeah. As it catches up there. Oh, Oliver says, yeah, the trailer of the final season of The Boys is out. My sister's freaked out when both Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki, a.k.a. Sam and Dean Winchester from Supernatural, were inserted. Oh, wow. Yeah, they're pretty popular, right? Yeah. But yeah, really talented craftsmen here. All these blown glass pieces. Some skeletons. Yep. It's kind of tough to see, but imagine how much time it took to set up with all the fishing wire, and then hanging all these. Quite a lot of work. Yep. But and some more ornaments here. You know, Mark loves ornaments. Yep, yeah. And Leonard, my mom continues to rub in the fact that she got to see Star Wars when it was new back in '77. Yep. Just tell her she's old, like me. Yeah. So these are really cool. I guess these look handmade to me, but some nice ornaments. Yep. Some woodworking stuff. Yep. So it's right. This is right in Grand Central, right in the entrance to Grand Central. Love all this handcrafted, stuff. So Z pots, distinctive, handmade in Vermont. So check them out. Google Z pots. Yep. Some more ornaments. Let me go back because I probably have too many pictures, but let's see. Do we have some more glass blown ornaments? So we did get my mom. Her nickname is Owl, so we did get her a really cool owl one. Yep. So that'll be one of her Christmas gifts. Yep. And if you like dogs and cats, so there's a bunch of dogs there. So some cool dog ornaments. Yep. And of course, we're in Grand Central Terminal, a National Historic Landmark. Thankfully, not torn out yet. Yeah. Constructed from 1903 to 1913, this major transportation terminal represents a milestone in American design, architecture, and engineering. So designated 76, because they tore down Penn Station. Big, huge mistake, and they put Madison Square Garden over Penn Station, and Penn Station was a nightmare. It's a horrible station. So there's plans maybe to not get rid of Madison Square Garden or move it, and then put the station back, and the post office across the street, the Moynihan Center, they've reclaimed part of it. Yep. This was interesting. Find My Behind, an animal memory game. I don't know. That game looks ass. But yeah, I guess they match up your behinds. Yep. This is cool. Is like make your own ViewMaster. So you buy this kit, you send in your film from like a trip or your digital images, and then they make a ViewMaster for you. I thought that was pretty cool. Yep. Yeah, those were very intricate. Yep. So just you can find all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, so you make your own reel. It was such a cool idea. Yep. To make a reel. Yep. There's some Mets, of course, MLB, Rangers stuff. Yep. Coasters. They were heavy coasters. Yep. Ice cream kit, make your own. Yep. Make your own hot sauce. You're looking for. You never know what to get someone. Those are fun things. Yep. These were candles. It's like, so I guess now that's City Field, and then so you take that off. That's pretty cool, but they were candles. Yeah. Yeah, it's in stereo. Yeah, so you send it in, and they would separate I guess they would duplicate it and make like a fake stereo out of it. Yeah. That's some cat people. Now this, I got to get this for Nick Weiser. New York pizza dough kit includes real NYC tap water and authentic NYC style pizzeria flavor. So, and that's one of the things about the pizza in New York. Excuse me, I needed some water there myself. The flavor from the water now comes from upstate New York, from the mountains, up lakes of upstate New York. That's where the water comes down, and that's part of the appeal, they said, or part of the great taste of New York City pizza is because of the tap water. So I love that they forget about it. They include the New York City tap water. But that's part of the reason they said New York pizzas taste the way it does is because of the taste of the water.
Well,
if you haven't been
there's something to do with the pH, yeah.
Right? So something about the taste, yep. So, Tom, you've never been to the big NYC, you were saying, right?
No, I've never really been out east at all, hardly.
Okay. So if you ever do, but of course, I don't know. Would I say Grand Central's a tourist stop? You might end up there because if you're taking the subway or going to New York City. But it's a really freaking grand, gorgeous building with this massive ceiling. Now, for years, where these three windows are, they would always have a Kodak picture display contest there. So Kodak would always have so some of those windows would be covered up, but yeah, it was pretty gorgeous station. Yeah, so it's all the different train tracks are around the edge. So the trains all roll into here, and then you can jump onto the subway. So if you want to go to say to Times Square, take your train, Metro North into Grand Central, then there's a connection to different subway tracks, or there's a shuttle that runs back and forth all day. 2 trains just between Times Square, so you almost don't even have to walk at all to get right to Times Square. But the ceiling is gorgeous there, and just this grand concourse that they have. You don't need it, but God, it's glorious to go into a place like this, and it's so big. And they've cleaned it up a lot since the 70s, although, yeah, you can, they still have some problems in the bathrooms, I guess you could say, but it's just a really cool, the sky there with the, the constellations there. So really well done. And then they had a little train display there. So Tom, you're gonna like this when you see what's on this train track. So this is they have a museum of train museum, but they had a little mini display here. But as we get around the corner, we'll see something pretty cool that they put on. So that's Grand Central's entrance there from the outside. Really cool display here. And of course, part of this is just to get the kids into the store and then buying stuff after. But because they have all kinds of trains for sale. But let's flip as you go around the corner. We'll see who's in New York City here. Let's see. Well, it's the Polar Express going around here. But you'll see who's on the next building. I'll let this play. This is only
King Kong.
Seconds. Yeah, Jake. You might have seen. You had a feeling, yeah. Or I actually had a short of that. Yeah.
No, I didn't see it, but I just had a weird feeling.
Yeah. You had a weird feeling. Yeah. So Tom Hanks was trying to escape from King Kong. Yeah. So here, as we come around the corner, there we go.
Hey,
King Kong.
with Fay Ray.
Fay Ray, yeah. Kong, and I guess he's climbing the Chrysler Building there. Yeah. And your old toys asks, do you think the original Star Wars will come out on Disney Plus after it's done in theaters? Well, yes. I think first yes, agreed, Tom, and I think hopefully they'll sell the bastard too. I mean, because they'd sell a shit ton of them, right? I mean, I'd buy it. You'd buy that for $1, right? I mean,
yeah.
We're all buying.
First Star Wars thing I'll have bought in years if it comes out,
right?
Which I'm sure it will. Yeah.
Your video will be ready soon. Well, this is the one video I wanted to play with King Kong. Let's see let me skip forward and see if I have another one. But yeah, so that's Kong there. Yep. I don't know why that video was taking so long to download, but. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun to have this nice display there. Kong. One of the kids know who Kong is. Yeah. I think most kids know King Kong. Yeah. And I'm shooting horrible vertical video because I got to make a short. Yeah. And my neighbor makes a ton of train, has a huge train display in his basement, so I got to send this to Rich to show him. You need King Kong in your, there's the video I used for the short. Yep. I want a King Kong display in your basement next time I come over. Yep. Yeah, so if you had this in your house, this would be pretty freaking cool. Yep. Sashi says, I think the biggest train display is in Europe. They had an airport in it One time they set up a Millennium Falcon that would depart from the airport. Well, that's pretty sweet. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the display, and of course you get to the end of the display, and then come buy stuff. Yep. So they're selling all these cool train kits, at the end. Yep. So yeah, really nice. It's a 15-minute thing to do if you're there, but yeah, as you can see, then these are all the different. Like buy a subway car. It's a very clean subway car. Actually, the subway's not. I gotta say, for the most part, when I've ridden, it's not been that bad. And they, got all the different. In the subway, they've got all the different lines, so they're selling, different cars. The wooden cars. God, my sons, they play with those, the wooden tracks. These tracks, the Brio tracks, for freaking hours. Set up train tracks all over the house, everywhere, and then the dog would run through it and knock them all over. So here's just a lot of train paraphernalia, Metro card shirt, and they're getting rid of the Metro card. It's just going to be use your credit card. Yep. Oh, it's getting past Tom's bedtime. Midnight's Edge is at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Uh-oh. Yeah, I got to get to work too. So we're just going to flip through some of these pictures. Yep. And Lenron says, that train display is probably bigger than my house. LOL. Yeah. So, of course, if you've been to Times Square, jump off the train, and tourists everywhere. Yep. And look up in the sky, and, there all kinds of vendors selling all kinds of prints and things. And it's crowded. Yeah. There's a recruiting station right for the armed forces right there at 42nd Street. I didn't take any night pictures. The night pictures always come out cool. Thinking of that, I should have done night pictures. There's a Hard Rock Cafe. And it was a nice day to head into New York. So we went to a murder mystery theater at Carmine's. It's a famous Italian restaurant in New York City. So it's like a dinner murder mystery. So we told them it was my son's birthday. So of course they picked him as one of the suspects in the murder. So that was, we said, embarrass him as much as you can. And of course, you got Raising Cane's now. Raising Cane's is everywhere. Our buddy Clobber and Tom loved Raising Cane's, and I think they started down in Louisiana, Baton Rouge way. And he always said, "Oh, you got to go to Raising Cane's." And actually, I didn't when we went down for his memorial. I don't think I made it into one then. But now they keep expanding. They've got them everywhere. So there's Carmine's is the Italian restaurant, and then they've got a Raising Cane's right next to it. And of course, they have a big Disney store there. And I kept whining to my wife. I'm like, I want to go to the Disney store and check it out. And we find there's some Disney stores in the back. She's like, all right, you can go into the Disney store. Oh, Will Smith got slapped around there. Ouch. And we got there. It was such a line to get in. We're like, forget about it. No way. Yep. All these portraits you can get. Of course, what says Christmas more than Santa drinking a Coke, right? So some of the big billboards. There's billboards everywhere. Yep. It's pretty cool. It's fun. Yep. It's quite a scene there. Yep. We do not have a hail to Hong Kong Fooey. We do not have a El Polo Loco near us. Yep. We do not have that chicken place yet. No. We do have a local place called Garden Catering. That's a bunch of chains in Connecticut. Started in my hometown, and pretty much the same thing. Although Raising Cane's, I guess their claim to fame is the sauce, the cane sauce. Yep. K-pop Square. Yep. This is pretty cool. This video display, I don't know how to describe it. It almost looked freaking 3D. It's not 3D, but when you're watching it, I don't know if it's ultra 8K or. But those damn bears looked like they were sticking out of the screen. It was, I don't know why it looked so good, but it was amazing. Yep. And just more of the displays in New York. Yep. And of course, they were advertising all the new shows that are coming out and the Fallout. I missed the Fallout commercial, I think, or did I grab it? Let's see. There's a Fallout commercial. You can just see the Santas are driving all the carts around. Yeah. And lots of traffic and gridlock, getting through there. You don't want to drive down to the city. Take the train, yep. Santa, have I been good? Are we almost to the shark from Back to the Future Part 2? Yeah, he's going to jump out of the billboard for sure. Yep. Then we went to see going in a few stores. We had some time to kill, so checking out the swatches. Support my Swiss side, please. Go buy swatches. Of course, they have some Simpson watches. Yep. So Dad Man's not here, but look at this. You got donut watch. These are pretty freaking cool. Yep. I should have bought the donut one. I like that one too with Maggie with Statue of Liberty. Oh, it's pretty darn cool. Yep. The Simpsons. Yep. I don't know why that one's missing. There was one watch missing there, but it's pretty freaking cool. Homer. Just tidy whities. Yep. So the guy said, yeah, they did sell a lot of these. Yeah. Oh, Sasha says, my uncle used to work for Swatch. He's from Switzerland. Awesome. Well, my dad was from Geneva. And we still have some friends there. And last year we went for a nice trip for our 30th anniversary. So we had a lot of fun there, yep. And a lot of good food and chocolate. But all the chocolate, well, actually, we do have one chocolate bar left. A big chocolate bar. We're supposed to eat it on our anniversary. And should eat it now before it goes bad. But from one of the chocolate factories. Yeah, so there's the Disney store across the way. Yep. Stranger Things. Yeah, so look, the first shadow. Get tickets. StrangerThingsBroadway.com. Yep. So live on Broadway. So that's how, they're expanding the IP, right? So you have, we had Harry Potter shows. We're going to have a Stranger Things show, which is pretty cool. Yep. There's the Disney store. And what a line there was to get there. Oh, and this is that new legal movie with Kim Kardashian that I got really bad reviews. Yep. Here's Operation Mincemeat. We might go see that. With Grammy. I think we're going to wait till the weather's a little bit warmer to take her in there. Yep. So yeah, this is definitely sensory overload if you walk into Times Square. Yep. There's the House of Mouse. Yep. Oh yeah, Leonard Swatch still exists. Yep, they still exist. Yep. Tough to compete with the Apple Watches of the world, but I think people are wearing watches, if they go out or a special occasion or just to look different. I think they're wearing the watches as a fashion statement, and you wear your Apple Watch for everyday stuff. Yep. But there's just so much cool stuff here. Just walk around all these vendors. Yep. If I don't sleep, nobody sleeps. New York City. Yep. So no shortage of food and stuff to buy. Yep, and they take Google Pay, right? If you never had a knish, go grab a knish in New York City. It's basically like a mashed potato that's deep fried with a nice filling dough on the outside. Yep. Good stuff. Yep. There's Raising Cane's. Yep. Right next to Carmine's. Yep. And there's the restaurant we went to. So here's the murder mystery. Yep. Leonard has a watch it displays all the time in binary. Well, not bad. Yep. So if you want to go check this, you're in New York City. You can Google Carmine's New York City. Here's actually, I don't know. Let's see if this works. The code. Yep. So there's the code to scan to go to the website. That's that new fancy dancy StreamYard feature. Yep. So Murder Mystery Theater includes legendary Carmine's 3-course family-style meal. Now, I got to say, was the food phenomenal there? No, because you're getting family style. The part of this that's fun is it's the murder mystery part of it. So it's a dinner theater. So you had chicken parm. It's good, but it's not like, oh wow, this is the best fancy Italian I've had. But the pasta is phenomenal there. Their sauce is great. So I'm not gonna say the meal was bad, but it's not, you're not getting anything super fancy. But you had the meal was there's pasta with a really good sauce, and then you had chicken parm, and you had shrimp parmesan, which the shrimp was actually really good. They were pretty big, good sized shrimp, and they weren't skimpy too on the tables with the amount of food that you got. So Dad Man would have been happy. So here's Lou's losing his luster. So you go in, it's like you're sitting down at tables, but it's supposed to be like a speakeasy in 1927, and they have the actors are all there. Yeah, so there's all these fake booze bottles and stuff on the table, and there's my son. He got picked, and what was fun. So they pick different tables. There's like 5 or 6 people that are picked to act as suspects in the dinner theater, and there's different rounds, and they've got different clues. There's my son with his roommate, his buddy. And they give you dollars, for these fake dollars, and you can go ask questions, and then you bribe the people with $1. So there's the people that were in the play. So they only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. 6. One guy dies early, but they had actors that were playing these roles and running the show. And then they have everyone. I don't know if anyone has been to one of these dinner theater events, movie or murder mysteries. It was kind of like, escape room, and you're working with everyone at your table to try to figure out the clues and figure out who who did it. And the funny thing, this girl was my son. This girl was supposed to be like his ex-girlfriend in the murder mystery. So I'm joking with him like, I don't know, Eric, you shouldn't have broken up with her. She's pretty cute. So, yeah, so it was a lot of fun, and it's the Kardashians were introduced on Deep Space Nine. Yep. Yeah, I would definitely recommend going to this. I mean, this was a fun night, and something different, and that's what the big city, you can get these kind of things, where you can't get it maybe in a smaller town, or it's tougher to get, or tougher to go to something like this. But there's a lot of fun stuff in the city. Yeah, was it as good as a Broadway show? No, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. It was casual, and you got to eat while you were sitting there. If you've ever been to Broadway, damn movie theater seats are so damn small, and you're crammed in there, and it costs a gazillion bucks. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, and they did a really nice job. Yep. So I got into one of the pictures here. Yep. Forget about it. Yeah. So yeah, it was a fun it was a fun night. Yeah. So I would definitely recommend it. Yep. So Carmine's in New York City is a lot of fun. Yep. It's a great place to go see this show, or just grab dinner. It's one of those. Should I say? I don't want to say tourist trap, because that implies that it's not good, but it's just a very famous place that a lot of tourists love to go to, and for a good reason, right? They sell their sauce and everything, so it's yeah. So that was one of the jokes. Yeah. So you willingly went to a murder scene to eat. Yeah, that was part of the jokes. Was one of the jokes. Yeah, someone was just murdered here. Yep, yep. So on Lenore says, "Oh, nice looking ladies, loving that dress." The one in the middle. Yeah, so the ladies were pretty cute, I have to say. God bless them. Yep. So yeah, they were cute. Yep, cutie patooties, as you would say. Yep, yep. So keeping up with the Kardashians. Yep, yep. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and that was a good time. Yep. So I'll show you a couple. Then we ended up in let me go back. I'll show the. Then we had to wait for the train. That's why I was late tonight. So let me go to my food photos here. So here we go. So this was this is a joke for Dad Man. So my sister went to a place. Dad Man hates eggs. So this was eggs Benedict with fried oysters. So they had that down, and they were in Louisiana. There's my nephew's going to school down there. So I sent that to Dad Man, and he was grossed out. And that was some pasta meal that I had. With some sausage, some dumplings. I'm going through this quick. But then I sent this to Dad as a joke. Did you know eating too many added sugars may lead to type 2 diabetes and weight gain? So these are the things that you should eat, which is, I'm not going to argue with that, right? Yep. So, the fan says, what are you, Angela Lansbury? No, I'm a lot uglier than Angela Lansbury. Yep. Yep. And, it looks like you haven't missed too many meals. Sorry, I had to say it. No, I don't. I try not to miss any meals. I mean, why would you want to miss a meal, right? Yep. Yeah. No, you're being honest. Yep. But I have been missing more meals lately, so I'm down about 30 plus pounds. So I would have looked even bigger a few months ago. So I'm trying. Yep. Yep. Never had eggs Benedict, let alone with oysters. Yeah, well, I love oysters, but yeah, that's not probably the best combo if you don't like eggs and you don't like seafood. Yep. And here is there's the chicken parm, standard chicken parm, but it was good stuff. Yep. And there's dessert. Yep, tiramisu and cannoli. Right, it was Italian theme, right? And then of course I sent this picture to Dad, man. So this is a donut place, and we had to kill like a half hour in Grand Central. So I went to get tea, and we did bring some donuts back home. I didn't eat them that night because we already had dessert. Yep, and I'm wide enough already as it is. So, but some really good. We got a peanut butter jam donut, and what else did we get? One of the other donuts there. Yep. But you got these fancy donuts everywhere now too, so which is fun. Yep, coconut snowman. Yep, for the holidays. Yep. So fun stuff today. Yep, and of course their son. A lot of this fan Llewellyn ice cream. Yep, he actually went to my high school guy and started this ice cream company. And he's everywhere now, but really good. Good ice cream, but it's freaking expensive, the ice cream. Like, dude, your ice cream is way too expensive. Yep. Jedi Beatties right there, yes. Yeah. And Fantasy, well, an Egg McMuffin, the egg is prepped per Eggs Benedict, just without the sauce, as McDonald's would never create a hollandaise they were happy with. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I do like my egg. Yeah, the Egg McMuffin is damn good, I have to say. Yep. It's good stuff, yep. All right, well, the last thing I wanted to cover before we all turn into turkeys here, we've been going, oh my God, almost was going to do a short show tonight, but we never end up doing a short show. Real quick, Pluribus I've been watching, so I watched all the episodes that were out, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up so far. It's a really cool sci-fi take. Minor spoiler, you know, if you've seen the trailer, you know what happens. But basically, a virus escapes a lab and it binds everyone into one unimind on the planet. So that's a minor spoiler. But if you watch the trailer, you know what's happening. So it's a girl, Rhea Seehorn from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. She's got a much bigger part in that. Obviously, Better Call Saul, and Vince Gilligan. So it's we'll talk about it more next week, but it's interesting. Yep. So there's 11 people on the planet, or 12, I think it is, that are not part of the Unimind. They joined the Supreme Intelligence. Lenrod says, yeah, I can't eat McDonald's. I thought you said macaroons. McDonald's. Yeah. Fast food in general makes me sick. Yeah. The idea from the original Egg McMuffin was Eggs Benedict on an English muffin to go, but they couldn't create the sauce, so they put cheese and ham on it and called it a day. That's probably a smart idea, too, because you got that sauce everywhere. how do you go quickly with the sauce? It's not going to work. Yep. So basically, the plot line of Pluribus, I've only the first 4 episodes are out, or 5 episodes. Rhea Seehorn's character is one of these survivors that still has their mind intact. So everyone else is all merged together. So, like, God, you could, they can't lie, the people too. The Unimind can't lie. So everyone is everyone. So like your spouse could be there, but you're also everyone. So like, God, you could ask who murdered JFK. Where's Jimmy Hoffa buried? Could ask Hillary if she knew what happened with her server, with her emails. You could ask anyone anything. You could ask, because they've got all the memories, and it's like their supercomputer of anyone that's ever joined the Hive or the Unimind. So just think of all the question: Where's Jimmy Hoffa buried? Does someone know out there? And there's a cameo I won't ruin of someone famous who shows up on the show. There's a lot to it, but it's just the whole mix of what happens when you've got lack of freedom, but everyone is the same together. It's just interesting. Yep. It's Hong Kong Fury says, Hoffa sleeping with the fishes. Yep. Okay. Yep. So he knows where they are. Yeah. Or he's wearing concrete galoshes, right? The rumor was he was buried in the Meadowlands too. They were looking for him at the Meadowlands. Yeah. And Golden Corral is way better nowadays, says Hong Kong Fury. Yep. Oh, they were thinking they put the sauce on the way they do with ketchup or Big Mac. Okay. Eggs Benedict, I'm always thinking like it's just covered with that sauce, right? Yeah. Hoffa's probably in my backyard. Yep. So I'd say give it a chance. Now my better half, she's like, I think I'm done with this show. She's like, I watched 2 episodes. I'm not too happy with it. And then the 3rd episode kind of won her over, and then she kept going. So there's a lot of cool mysteries that her character is finding, and she's kind of the only one that's fighting this. The other people are like, well, I want to become part of the hive mind, and one of the dudes, he like asks them, like, they'll do anything for you, this hive mind. So he's like, I want Air Force One to be my transport. They want to go somewhere, so they roll out Air Force One. So the guy gets to go on Air Force One, and he's got supermodels with him all the time. So, this character, so he's living it up, right? So, but there's a deeper mystery into it, and we're at the very beginning of the show, but I hope there's some more twists and turns. But you're trying to figure out what what the end game here is, what's going to happen. But it's a great sci-fi Twilight Zone-esque mix here, where they're asking a lot of questions and making the audience think, and a lot of cool mysteries there. So it's been doing pretty well in terms of the buzz online. So I'd give it a watch, and let me know what you guys think. If you watch it, let me know what you think. Next week we'll talk about it more in depth, because it got late early here. So and I know Tom's got to get to bed. I got to get to work. Yep. And so yeah. Good night, Albert. Let me thank, of course, all the channel members. So let me what I'd like to do is play our thank you to channel members here. Let me play that. Always want to remember all our awesome channel members here. Help keep the lights on. Help pay for StreamYards. All right, so thank you again to all you channel members. Very especially support what I do here, and help keep me going week to week and month to month. So really appreciate that. And let's go down the list of people here tonight. So we've got Claude, Lyle Hobson, Submaster, Poker Race, Darcipio, Hamdinger, Polly's Minion, Cowabunga Dude, Void King, Anthem 21, Scotty was here. Lemon Pie, Courtney, hey Courtney, Sashi, Caleb Levine, Hong Kong Fooey, Your Old Toys, Hembry Jeremiah, Wes Cagle, Jonathan Conroy, Brian Barth, Putin's Cat, Gilly Chow, Brian Hepburn, Phantom Outsider, Sentinite Ranger Donnie, Oliver Belmonte, and Lenrod, a.k.a. Metallica Man. So thank you all you guys and gals for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Tom, for spending so much time. I'm sorry for keeping you so long. I know you're working in the background there probably, right? Yeah. So
I just went to the bathroom and stuff. Actually, I finished all my work earlier.
Okay, but thank you, Tom. Yep. So you're talking, have you seen Pluribus yet, or any Pluribus, or?
Not really, no. I mean, Paul watches it, Paul Chatto, but.
Chatto, yep. I'd say give it a shot. It's I like Rhea Seahorn and I like Vince Gilligan, but yeah, I'd say give it 2 or 3 episodes and be interested to know what you think. It keeps you guessing, so it's a fun, so far fun, interesting show to watch, but a dark side to it, which I like too. It's not all happy rainbow unicorns either. So, but yeah, you've got your morning show coming up. Any specific topics?
I'm sure Netflix, Warner, and Box Office most likely.
Yep. Which makes sense for a Monday. Yep. So, but thank you, Tom, for hanging out tonight. Let me take this UPC code off, and we got one last comment here from Dragon Green. It says Tom versus Badger, UFC event, whatever, make it happen. I don't know what that means, but Tom will let me know later, maybe. Yep. All right, so everyone, have a great, awesome start to your week tomorrow. Go to bed. Get the hell out of here. Have fun storming the castle, and we'll catch you on the next Sunday Night Geekery. But thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. And I'll play a couple of quick clips before we get out of here.
I just love clobbering time.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Who is it?
There's only one thing I want to say to you, Commodore.
You're a dumbass.
This evening, I shall go for the squid platter. Ew. With extra tentacles, please.
Hey, Jim! Whoa! Excuse me. That's a bad outfit!
You have to set an example even in the face of stupidity. Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby's Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer.
Fun storming the castle.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.